Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 6 of the Choco League here in Saudi Arabia. I'm your host, that guy Vince, for today, and I'm also joined with our side commentator, Badgerman.
Circuit as well. I mean, 245 kilometers an hour average lap speed around here, and that's just in the race and qualifying even more. Only Monza is faster on one lap, so expect this race to go by quickly. Then again, we're probably going to have a lot of safety cars because the walls are so close.
Absolutely. And we have an entire host of different participants for today as well. You'll see a lot of familiar names on the left-hand side as well. But the most you'll see on the left-hand side, you've got Bush Yancey, you've got Hayden Gullis. We've got, of course, Dirk Chocolate, the host of the league, of course. And we have the main man, Tom, as well. Big streamer in the F1 scene who is participating today as well. And also participated last time out in Abu Dhabi. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to comment on that one. But I heard some very interesting things about that. But we have some cars on track early on. So we'll keep an eye on the early proceedings here in Jeddah. Let's see who's currently out on a lap. We've got Razzie just left the pits at the moment as well. But to talk to us a little bit about Jeddah, what can we expect in the early stages of this track? Will we expect the early grip, or are we going to have to wait a little bit to find our fast lap times?
Well, you're certainly going to have to wait a little bit. This is a city circuit at the end of the day, and that means that there's not a lot of grip laid down right now. So the cars really have to clear out the circuit a little bit and lay their own rubber down. So yeah, expect the lap times to creep up. Obviously, it is a circuit with a lot, and I mean a lot of fast corners. So grip comes at a premium, and if you have it at the end, then you will live life a lot better. You will be able to corner through all these fast left and right-handers just that much better. And I think the lap times are going to creep up by about 3 to 4 tenths over the course of the session. Yes, that's quite a lot.
That is a lot.
To most other circuits.
It absolutely is. The first man who is currently on a lap, Lil Carlos in the Alfa Romeo. We've also got a few others heading out for a lap right now as well. We've also got Alex Budd, who is in the Alfa Tauri, who's on his lap too. So keep an eye on those guys. What do you expect from Q1? Are we going to see the likes of, the fast guys such as, Jamie Mills? Are they going to try and go for that one stint, or are they going to try and go for that two stint? Obviously, tyres are very important in qualifying, of course, aren't they?
They certainly are, and you don't want to use too many. I see. I just checked the tyre information for most drivers. I'm sorry for the laughter, but most drivers are out right now on intermediate tyres.
Yeah, well, I've been saying that in esports a few times.
Yep, the esports strat right there.
Exactly.
We might have to explain for some viewers potentially what exactly is going on here. So they don't want to waste another set of dry tires, so they just use the inters instead. I know it's dry. It's absolutely. There's no rain expected whatsoever. At least let me check. Yeah, in qualifying at all, and in the race either. So we will have no rain whatsoever here today. I can already spoil that. But yeah, they still use the inters because they won't need them at any point.
No.
Not in qualifying, not in the race, so they can use them now.
No, it looks like Lil Carlos, who was on a lap, has decided to back out of it. I hope he's got enough fuel to get around again, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's see who else could be on a lap right now. Jamie Mills just started his lap. Alex, of course, on his lap as well. He's going down towards the final corner. Average Joe using the medium tyres, so opting against the inters for the early stage. He goes on the medium tyres, 130.6 for him. I'm on board with Alex Budd right now, who decides to head into the pit lane. So kind of a waste of set of soft tyres early on there. We'll stay on board with Jamie Mills, though, who is currently going through sector 1. He's using the medium tyres as well. So a few opting against the intermediates at the moment and going for the medium set. How much will that affect their race strategy, I wonder? Should they choose that two-stop? Is it better to rub them in, or is it better to try and keep them a little bit more fresh?
It's always better to keep the tyres fresh. The wear is the most important scenario, especially with soft tyres, but also with mediums. However, the drivers will probably have chosen the balanced tyre distribution, which at the end of the day means that they get 4 sets of softs, I think, for qualifying, 1 set of mediums for qualifying, and then a set of mediums, a set of hards for the race as well. So they will have 2 sets of mediums at the end of the day. They might just need 1. Normally a medium tyre means that you can make it to the end no problem. and yeah, that should be enough at that point.
On board by Jay Mills then as he heads down towards the start-finish line. He's about to complete lap 1 of Q1. Of course, we have a full qualifying session here. Across the line goes Jay Mills, 29.1, a good early banker. Sets him into P1 for now, but of course eases in the medium tyres. Larsen in the Haas car has just gone into 3rd place. Hayden Gullis also has gone into 4th, and Dirk in 5th, but again, they are opting for the intermediate tyres, so not really too serious on the lap time there. Do we have anyone else possibly on a lap right now? Let's have a little sift through, see what we can find. Carbon Shadow heading down towards the final corner in the McLaren is currently going through the final corner now. He's going to get a little bit of tone. No, he's not, because the hard's moved out of the way. And he's going to go straight down to the line. He's on the soft tyre as well, so this could be a competitive lap. Let's see where Carbon goes. P3 with a 131.374. We also have Razor heading to the pits as well. So it's all about kind of waiting a little bit at the moment, isn't it, for the competitive lap times, I think.
Yeah, right now it's all about setting down your banker, your first lap, really, and that's all there is to it. And then later on, you're going to have the really important laps. But right now, you know, you can breathe a little bit easier. It's all about, you know, preparing yourself for the future. For some drivers, obviously, since we have the 3-stage qualifying system and not just the short qualifying as we have in most league racing. Right now, it's just about, you know, if you get that 1 lap in that's very, very good, you won't have to worry. You could just relax, I guess, the remaining 11 minutes that are left in the session, and just, you know, lay back and already strategize for Q2.
Lots of traffic in Sector 3 at the moment as we see Safsa and the Mercedes trying to find his way through all those blocked cars. But he's coming for that final corner now. Liam in the other Mercedes did go P2 the 29.4. Still no one beating that medium tyre of Jamie Mills. Across the line goes Safso, and he goes top of the charts for now. 28.8. I think they got a purple sector 2 and a purple sector 3, but I don't think his first sector was actually purple. So still some time to find there, I'd say, from the Mercedes duo.
Certainly a lot of time, I think, still left to be found for a bunch of drivers, not just for them. Let me just quickly check the sector times so far. Well, Safso, I'm not sure he can find that much more time, to be fair. Purple in all 3 sectors.
Oh, there you go.
The Mercedes drivers, so that is the theoretical best time according to my screen here. Well, 128.879.
We do still have a few on the intermediates and mediums, so we'll have to be a little bit more patient to see what the actual best time to be.
Yeah,
but
certainly.
It's a good start for Safso, and I think, honestly, a 28.8 probably enough to get him through to Q2, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's just sitting back now, just waiting. You know, maybe having a drink, just to make sure that he's hydrated for the race.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's you and I. We both know how important that is.
Yes, definitely. Especially we've all been through 100% races, career-wise, multiplayer-wise, and easier said than done, to say the very least.
Exactly. We, of course, not in league racing, but at least in career mode and stuff, we have the benefit of being able to pause.
Yes.
If we do need a drink, they will not have that ability.
Unless they want 40 AI level.
That's what it said to. Oh my.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, but I think.
I mean, I can check.
We can have a look. That'd be nice. We have a Mercedes moved out the way on the left-hand side to allow PW Jones in the Williams. I think this is his 2nd appearance in the Chocoleague, making his debut out in Abu Dhabi last time out. And he's treachery through Sector 2 right now. We've still got a few drivers to go across the line in set of time at the moment. A couple of drivers on their outlaps, Tom and Bushiance. Those two are still set to set a lap. PW Jones set a purple Sector 2 that time round. And it's now foot down all the way through to the final corner for PW Jones. He's got to be a little bit careful down to final corner. It's very easy to get that brake point a little bit wrong, go a little bit deep, or get that early apex. Sometimes it's better to go for the later apex around that corner. And here comes PW Jones heading down towards the line. He is going to go P3. So despite a middle purple sector and a final purple sector as well, only enough for a 29.2 for him. Emphatic in the Rebel has gone P4, the 29.32. And that leaves us with 6 more drivers to set a lap time.
Yeah, the quick deceptive there, or a bit deceptive there from the game, actually. The Sector 2 from PW Jones was not actually purple. It was around 2.5 tenths down. We had Safso still holding that purple sector with a 28.7 flat. And PW Jones was on a 28.9 there. So just over 2/10 that he was down. Not a purple sector, but the final sector was purple by 2/10. And there goes Sebastian Bobek with a 28.7.
Yep.
And now we have a new purple middle sector.
We do. We do.
Not by much. Not by much, but it is purple there. But he really gained on Safsa in the final sector. Between the first and the second sector, they were very even. And then Bobek just gained the whole 10th and a bit in the final sector on him. So very, very good. Oh, and there he spins.
So sets P1 and is off the road. And as we watch that, Bush Jansen's also on a lap going through sector 1 right now as well. The man to keep an eye on today, who has been in great form over the course of this season. Purple first sector, yes. Yeah. Definitely, I can definitely see that. My eyes aren't deceiving me this time. He's definitely looking fast.
There is a bug sometimes with the game where it shows a purple sector if a driver's on their first lap and they're not actually getting a purple first sector.
Right. So it's actually a personal best, technically.
That's what I'm confirming.
Yeah.
This time it's and not just by a whole 10th. It's by a whole, not just a little bit. No, he's got a whole 10th in the first sector already.
Wow.
And in fact, on Bobek, a 10th and a half, because that's where Safsa was slightly better. Purple middle sector by a quarter of a second. Wow. Okay, this is going to be absolutely insane. This is going to be, I would guess, a 28.3 potentially, maybe even 28.2.
Well, let's see, because Bushian's flying at the moment through Jeddah. Round the final corner, here he goes, and now it's just his foot through the floor as he goes across the line, and it's a 28.1. Wow. Even more than we expected, and we are edging slowly towards the 27s. Are we going to see it this session? Are we going to see it next session? But either way, Bushy Ants topping the charts.
Yeah, that with 14 cars right now out on circuit, that is a lot. That is a lot of traffic to navigate, but
yeah,
Bushy did well there to find himself a gap where he didn't have to contend with any of it. And my goodness, what a lap. I mean, that is what you call
Lars
a
in
statement,
P2.
I think.
Yep, Lars in the Haas has gone P2 as well, so that Haas quickening up the pace as well. But you've got to be careful on these tyres as well. You don't want to use up too many before you get into Q3, of course. Of course, if you're assuming you're making it to Q3, this is a tricky track. It's very easy to get a little bit wrong, and suddenly you find yourself facing the wrong way or in a wall, and that's the last thing you want. There's one man to cross the line at the moment. Kunz is about to cross the line. He goes into P9. One man to cross the line remaining is Alex Budd, but he gets put a time in, of course, and 5 minutes remaining. It's, wow. What do we call the deadline here? What do we say is enough to get you through to Q2 at this point?
Well, that's a good question, considering how many drivers are still either on the old interlaps or haven't completed their new laps or anything. I think we're talking about Razin. I think is on the hot seat here. So I think if you're in the 120, in the mid 129s, you're considering. If you're in the low 29s, where I would put Liam and then Infratic and PW Jones, I think they can. So the top 8, I think, can stay in. P9 and below, you might want to be out in just about 2 minutes' time.
Absolutely. And the man who is stretched across the line is on his lap now with just over 4 minutes to go here in qualifying session number 1 here in the Choco League in Jeddah. Alex is finding his way through turn 25 and 26 right now. Gonna check his right-hand side as he spots his braking point. It's hard on the brakes. Jimmy Mills, 27.8. There's our first 27 of qualifying. And we're going to stay on board with Alex as he comes across the line. Where is he going to slot? Here's AlphaTauri. He goes into P15. So he's the man at risk right now. The bottom 5 as it stands. Hayden, Gallus, Rutanius, Marcus, Tom, and Lil Carlos. But a few of those guys did use the intermediate tyres. So expect fast lap times from those guys on their next run out.
Yeah, Jimmy Mel's purple first and second sector. In the final sector, he actually lost the 10th to Bushy. Otherwise, this could have easily been a 27.7 or even a 27.6. But that first sector from Jamie Mel's, just to give you guys an idea, 32.4 in the first sector was Bushy's purple when he got that. Jamie Mel's did a 31.9. He beat Bushy, the second fastest driver in the first sector right now. He beat him by half a second in one sector alone.
Simply outstanding, that, isn't it?
I mean, that's remarkable. The first sector, if you look around the circuit here, the first sector is really the driver sector. It's the downforce sector. Is how much risk are you willing to take? And clearly, Jamie Mel's didn't hold back at all.
No, I was keeping an eye on Larson there. He was on lap, but decided to back out of it. I don't know. I think he's going to go into the box now. He is indeed. He was on for a lap. No, he's actually going to continue it, but I think he's used up a lot of battery. He has gone across the line, so he's probably going to be in next lap, unless he's got the fuel to get round once more. Savso has decided that's enough for Q1 for him, and he has decided to keep the car in for the remainder of the session. To be fair, 28.8, probably enough to get you through. Sebastian Bobek in that Aston Martin is on another lap as well. And we do have, who else we possibly have? Razin going through Sector 1 right now. He's on a slowdown lap right now.
Average Joe is going to the line here. He's up half a second on his own lap, but only good enough for 2 more positions, P12. I'm not sure that that's going to be enough to make it out of Q1 here. And he's actually escaping through the escape road here on the exit of turn 1. And rejoining right in front of another car. That is a Ferrari, I think
that's Marcus. Yep,
it is Marcus.
Retenius is also on an outlap right now too. So both Ferraris need to keep an eye on here because these are important laps for them.
Yeah, I don't see much green right now on my timing screen. Razin is going, I think that's an in-lap for sure. Alex Budd is on an in-lap. I don't see any green first sector. Oh, never mind, Marcus. First sector, 32.6. He's improving by 2 seconds on his old time. Right now, that's already pretty good at 32.6 in the first sector. That would put him P6.
It would indeed.
Just off of that. So, very good start to the lap here. Oh, slight brush to the wall there, though, for the Ferrari. Shouldn't be any damage, but it's also not the most helpful thing in the world to brush the walls here. Second sector split. Yeah, 3.5 seconds up on his own time. Let me see when my timing comes through. That's 28.6 in the middle sector. That's 4th best in the middle sector. So he's challenging for a 1 minute 28, a high 28, I would say, maybe a low 29. P6, I think, is where he's going to end up if he gets that final sector just right, which it looks like he does. Where is the time going to stop? 28 or 29?
28.8. That should be comfortably through for Marcus, I'd say, into Q2. And we also obviously have the other Ferrari of Retenius on a lap right now too. So we've got to keep our eyes on a few drivers right now. 15 seconds left in the session. So it's now or never if you want to make your way into Q2. And there's a McLaren who's just crossed the line. I think he's starting his lap. Yes, he is. So there's a Rebel going across the heading towards the final corner now. That's Dirk. Yep, and he's in the bottom 5 right now. So this is a vital lap for him. How is the final corner going to be? It's nice and easy on the traction on the exit of the final corner. And yeah, he's going to keep in the middle of the track and across the line. Dirk goes, and he goes into P8. Good lap. 29.2 for Dirk. Is that going to be enough for Q2?
Yeah, for sure. Look at the gaps though between Tom, Dirk, and PW Jones. That's 5 milliseconds right there.
Yeah, it's very tight.
Right now, by the way, the top 9 are safe because PW Jones, Infratic, Kunz, Alex Budd, and Lil Carlos cannot set another time. They're either in the pits, on their outlaps, or just, no shot there anymore. So from, and in fact, from Dirk upwards, they are safe. So Liam, Carbon Shadow, Average Joe, Rolly, and Hayden Gullis. And that would be a shocker. Ooh. Hayden coming through the final corner.
Yeah, a little bit squirmy as well. No, across the line.
Wasn't great. Second is okay.
Oh, P14.
But he's not safe. He's not safe. Infratic is now safe. We still have Carbon Shadow in 16th. He's going green in the... Oh, no, he messed up the second sector. That's over. Average Joe also out. Rolly might have a shot here to improve.
And it's DRS.
Okay.
Yep, DRS to the line for Rolly. Is he going to be through to Q2? He is. He knocks Kunz down into the bottom 5. So it's going to be Kunz, Carbon Shadow, Joe, Alex Budd, and Little Carlos. Hayden Gullis getting through by the skin of his teeth. Look at the time difference between Gullis and Kunz in that Aston Martin. There is literally just over 200 between them. And Hayden Gullis probably breaking a sweat a little bit after the end of Q1 there.
Yeah, a little bit. I think a lot, actually. But yeah, that's not the position you want to be in necessarily. And I'm just going to do a quick calculation here. I want to see how many meters were between them. So we had a lap time of, let me check real quick, 1 minute, let's count as of 1 minute and 29.5, just for simplicity.
Well, just while you do that, let's have a quick run through of the Q1 session. Then Jamie Mills does top the sheets with a 27.8. It's Bush Jansen second with Larsen completing that top 3 for Q1. You got Sebastian Bobek, Rutanius, Safso, Marcus Razin, Tom, and Dirk keeping that top 10 alive. And look how close it's between Dirk and PW Jones for 10th and 11th. I wonder if we'll see a very tight shoot-up between those guys come the end of Q2. And Fretic does make it through as well in 12th place. Liam Rowley and Hayden Gullis, of course, does make it into the top 15. Leaving us in Q1 then is Kunz in that Aston Martin, Carbon Shadow in the McLaren, Average Joe in the Haas, Alex Budd in the Alfa Tauri, Lil Carlos in the Alfa Romeo. Do we have a calculation?
We do. The gap between Hayden Gullis and Kunz, 21 milliseconds, translates on this circuit to around 1.45 meters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Barely anything.
On a 6 kilometer track, let's round it up to 1.50 meters. That's nothing.
That is absolutely nothing.
That's like a quarter of the car length, basically.
Yeah, and that's the margins you have at tracks like this as well, isn't it? Where margins are already, as they are on the track limits and how close you are to the walls, they're already so tight. But not only are they tight there, but you've also got to think about the timing as well of your runs and of course, your actual lap time. So, unfortunately, for Kunz, he was on the wrong end of that.
Yeah, and he will have to find a way to make his positions up in the race, which... I mean, you have 3 DRS zones around here. Unfortunately, they are 3 back-to-back-to-back DRS zones, which means you don't want to overtake in the first 2, so they're just really there to get you closer. And then in the third, although you can actually overtake into the second if you make sure you're behind at the detection point for the third. So we're gonna see this a lot, I think, in the race. We're in Q2 only now, but you know, just a little bit of foreshadowing here for the race. I think we're going to see this a lot. Drivers overtaking into the final corner, trying to then slightly stay behind, make the overtake happen through the corner, get the DRS, and then just drive off into the sunset and ideally pull a second if they can. But yeah, it's a tricky scenario. It's the same as if you think to Austria, for example. Austria turn 3, where the detection point is directly... before the corner, and then the DRS is after the corner, or Bahrain turn 1 as well, another one of those. So it's tricky there to get that correctly sorted and to make the most of it, but I think it's going to make for a fun race. There's a lot of drivers are leaving the pit lane early here. Most of them, well, a couple of them again on intermediates. That would be let me see, Razin, that would be Rutanius, that would be Rolly, Marcus, and Hayden, who are all on intermediates right now. And then we've got mediums for Jamie Mells, softs for everyone else.
Interesting. The man leading us at the moment in Q2 is Larsen. He's going to be the first man to begin his lap. He is going for an actual lap as well, as he's on the soft tyre, not going for a inter or medium stint as some of the others are. So let's stay on board with Lars as we head down towards turn 1. It's a heavy braking point. You want a little bit of that inside curb and heavier on that right-hand curb as well. And then just let the car drift out through turn 3 as you flow through turn 4 and then down towards turn 5. It's a late brake one here as well. A lot of the inside curb being used, and then just keep it right. The car wants to snap at you and just wants to flick the back at you as you head through the next right-hander. And again, another 2 very difficult right hands, and track limits here are very, very strict. And Larsen does go a bit wide, does a lift though, so he is allowed to do that. He is allowed to lift off that throttle a little bit, and he won't get the lap time validated because he doesn't gain any time from it. But the problem is he does lose time, and he's going through sector 2 now as we head through towards turn. What turn is this? This would be turn 17, wouldn't it? This one. So this is the part where it's DRS all the way down towards. It's an S shape flat out zone, so you can keep the foot your foot all the way down as you head down towards turn 22. Easy to get it wrong here. We saw in real life, of course, Mick Schumacher getting that slight snap on entry, but Larson looking very composed at the moment as he goes through sector 2, and then now it's down through turn 25, turn 26 as well, keeping the left-hand side as you head all the way through towards 27. Late on the brakes down on the right, but it's a little bit too late for Larson. I don't think this is going to be the lap he's looking for, but he will keep it flat out all the way down towards the finish line. And, well, I think he's going to have to do another run after that one, that's for sure, because that's only at 29.7. That won't be enough to keep him safe for Q3, I'd say.
Yeah, certainly won't. Sebastian Bobic, on the other hand, I think he might be one to finish the lap next. And 2 purple sectors so far that no one has been able to beat yet as well. And the third as well. For now, obviously, he's only the second or third driver to complete the final sector. But a 28.2 is an early statement. Jamie Mells, of course, is on the medium tire. So Jamie Mells not beating the first Sebastian Bobic in the first sector, but actually beating him in the second. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
On mediums. Again, the difference between the softs and the mediums in fresh condition, by the way, is just under 0.6 of a second. And Jamie Mells makes it look like it's actually the opposite. It's actually a tenth for him.
It is,
That's
and well, it's less than a tenth. The gap between him and Sebastian Bobic. He does a 28.286, so it does keep it within a tenth to the Aston Martin P1. Are they the same mediums he would have used for Q1 as well?
I can't tell, unfortunately. I can try to see if I can. It should be, yes. I mean, the tires have 11% wear in them. I can actually see that. That's cool. Jimmy, you might want to turn off your telemetry. No, but yeah, I think he has used them once before. Yeah, looking at it, it looks like he did, yes. Interesting.
So I think I'll probably be going out on another set of softs. So we'll probably know that's another 27 lap time from him again at some point through this qualifying session.
But is it needed for him to improve any further?
28.2 should be enough. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. We had the cutoff in the first qualifying for the top 15 to go through was 29.5. The cutoff for the top 10 there was 29.0 or 29.1, if I remember.
Traffic in the final corner as Tom tries to find his way through, and nearly got impeded there, Tom, but he just managed to find a way through, but he's got into the pits anyway, so not too happy with his lap time. A 31.2 probably really isn't enough for him either, so, and he's not even on the intermediate, so Tom will be a little bit disappointed with that lap time.
Yeah, certainly 31.2, not what you expect from Tom, and it's really the middle sector where he lost it all. Had a massive mistake there. If we just take the first 2 sectors, he should have gained at least 2 places on Larson and Liam, and that would be and potentially challenge Sasso even, depending on how good that middle sector could have been. But he should have been in the low 129s there. But that mistake in the middle sector certainly cost Tom, and he's going to have to go out again if he wants to make something out of this qualifying, if he doesn't want to exit in Q2.
Indeed. I was just watching Dirk Chocolates up there, and look at that from Dirk. 28.8 to put him into P3 for now. Ahead of both the Mercedes. Dirk is looking lively and ferocious here in Q2, isn't he? That's a lovely lap from Dirk.
Yeah, considering his Q1 experience, where he was not nearly as high as he is right now. Yeah, I think that's a good improvement from him. 28.8, that's a good lap. And he's going to be happy with that. So, yeah, let me see. He invalidated the first one as well. That was brand new softs. He invalidated the first one.
So he would have put a bit of wear on the tyres then.
There was a bit of wear on the tyres, yes. Although, looking at it, his first sector on his invalidated lap was already at 35.2, 3 seconds slower than what you normally run here. So maybe he invalidated very early and then just took it very gingerly on the track. Yeah,
trying to get that battery back, I'd say. There is...
Well, he never really used much in the first place because, again, he invalidated apparently in the first sector. So how much battery did he really use?
Could have been at turn 1, for all we know. It's easy to get invalidated there.
For all we know, it could have been turn 1. It could have been all the way to... Oh, what is that? There's so many corners there. I hate that. 4, 5. Let me count real quick. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Before the long left-hander. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
I think that's turn 9 or 10, where he, at any point there he could have invalidated. But I think the most likely scenario would be either turn 1 or 2, or turn 4, the left hand. There's also one where it's really tricky. Or he went a little bit too wide in one of the, like turn 6, 7. Could also be the case.
Right, potentially. But Dirk has put himself in that top 3 for now, and it's looking very good for the man in the Red Bull. It looks like Razin's about to start his lap in the AlphaTauri. We'll stay close with him at the moment. He's on a 33.2. I think that was on the intermediate tire. PW Jones I was on board with as well. He did a 29.5, so he'll probably need to improve that a little bit. What are we expecting the cutoff point to be for the entry to Q3, do you think?
Well, considering what the cutoff for the top 10 was in Q1, I would say we're talking about a low 1 minute 29, maybe even a high 28. So right around the 1 minute 29.0 mark is where it should be. Give or take 3:10, so 28.7 to 29.3.
Okay, well, let's stay on board with Razin then. That's what he's got to do. We think, theoretically, to get into Q3. Whether that will be practical or not, we'll have to give it 5 minutes and 40 seconds to really find out. But Razin, he needs to get the lap down early here, and you're not about to get many laps in 5 minutes, so every lap he does from here on will be absolutely crucial. But if it does invalidate, or if he gets it slightly wrong or something, he's always able to have that little bit of extra time to get in that box and put a new set of soft tyres on if he needs to. Razin heading down towards turn 22 and 23. Oh, just kept him within the boundaries there. I think he didn't quite get the apex he wanted to, and is now flowing through 25 and 26 and down towards turn 27, which of course is the final corner. Razin heading down to the final corner now. Where will he brake on the right-hand side? Brakes it nice, gets it in early. He's compromised the exit a little bit, but does get that traction down nicely. And it's DRS all the way to the line. Is Razin going to be in a good position here? Let's find out. Here goes in for a 29.2, which could well be the time we're looking for the cusp of Q3.
Yeah, potentially. It's certainly going to be interesting and very, very up close and personal there for Razin. He might want to go out again if he finds the time, which he should be able to. I mean, it's 4 minutes 30 right now. I don't know why he's slowing down that much. I mean, sure, to let another car by, I get that. That would be Bushy, who just went past there. But at the same time, Bushy is on an in-lap, so I don't really understand why Razin would just care so much about another car who's also on his way into the pits.
Yeah.
Just bolt it, get back in, put on new softs, and then go out again, and there you go. He's letting another car by, and this time that's Larsen, and he's got 2 more behind him. Is he going to let Safso and
I
Liam
think he's
through
going
as well?
to. He's going to be cutting the time tight here, isn't he?
Yeah, he has to get a move on. I don't know what he's doing. He's just... I was almost going to swear that he's just peeing away time is what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And I don't understand it, really. Safso's getting ever closer to him.
That seems to be getting a bit more of a move on now, though.
Yeah, a little bit, at least, at long last. As Larsen is meanwhile going double purple here. Hello.
Yep, that looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good through the middle
corner,
sector.
Coming in.
Oh!
Turning around.
Razin getting a little bit, Razin getting a little bit close there. I know he was wanting to get moving eventually, but nearly impeded the Mercedes there. Larsen, the Haas, goes for a 27.9, the first man in Q2 to get into 27s. Across the line goes Safso, and even though it was a double purple sector, 28.4 only puts in P5.
No, the map lied again.
Oh, was it the map that got you again, was it?
Yeah,
okay.
There was no purple sectors here to be had for Safso.
That's unfortunate.
He was close in the final one. He missed out by a millisecond, but Larsen was slightly quicker.
Yeah, Liam in P9 as well in the other Mercedes, so 29.6 for him. It probably will not be enough. He is pushing quite hard right now. Not sure if he's going for another lap or if he's going to speedily... Oh, and Liam's gone round. Liam has gone round on the exit of turn 10, that is. Does keep out the barrier, though, but it's just a little spin. A nice pirouette to show off Q2, but I think that might be his Q2 over and done if he can't get back to the pit in good time.
Yeah, no. With 2 minutes left, right now is when you would have to leave. The only way in which Liam would have a chance...
He goes again now.
If he has enough fuel and goes again now. Yeah.
Yep.
That would be the only way. And I don't know if that is the fuel I can see from the drivers. I want to. No, the fuel's a different thingy. And for Liam, I cannot see his fuel. Okay, so I don't know how much he has.
We'll have to wait and see.
Very difficult to tell, but yeah, we're gonna see for sure. He's gonna have to save a lot here. Lars, meanwhile, retires. He's safe.
Yep, definitely safe.
I would say, but why is Bobek on an outback right now?
I'm not too sure. I think he's going to try and get a bit of self-confidence, I'd say.
I wish I could see his tire wear, but I can't. I would love to know if he's on old. Surely he's got to be on old tires, right?
Yeah, it's a quite
There's
position,
no
that one.
way that he is on a new set. No, they are used. They are used.
Okay. Savso has retired from the session as well. We have a few more cars coming across the line. Infratic is starting his final lap now. And I say final lap, I think this is actually his first proper lap as well, because he's not set a time down on the board. So a very important lap for Infratic. Oh, there you go. That'd be why then. Another man who's about to cross the line is someone who's also not done a time yet. That's Marcus in the other Ferrari. Rutanius is also in that bottom 5 right now. That bottom 5 consists of Rutanius, Hayden Gullis, Rowley, Marcus, and Infratic. So those guys need to get a move on here. Here goes Marcus across the line. Is this going to be enough? It is going to be enough. A 28.7 for Marcus. That should be enough. And, well, it's a safe lap time, that's for sure. I don't think that'll be really enough to keep him in any danger. Let's see who else we've got coming across the line. There's an Aston Martin just across the line. That's Sebastian Bobek. Has he...
Rutanius goes purple in the first sector.
Okay, let's keep an eye on that then.
32.1.
How is the middle sector?
200 nope, that's a lie by the game. But he was 200 faster in the first sector. In the second sector, he lost a tenth and a half to Larsen, though.
Okay.
But still, he'd be on for a P2, P3 right now. Certainly within the top 5 if he doesn't mess up the final sector. Even then, he's very likely to get a top 6 guaranteed because the gap between Safsa and Marcus is just that big.
Rutanius P2.
In fact, P2.
Yep. Yeah. That's a lovely lap from Rutanius. That will see him comfortably through to Q3 as well, of course. Rowley's not set a lap time either, and Infratic, the only man yet to set a lap, other than Rowley, of course. And across the line goes Infratic. He's gone slow across the line. So he's gone, he's out 32A. I think he made a mistake and knew it. But he's gone at P3. Here comes Tom. He needs improvement. Needs improvement.
The first 2 sectors are iffy. He might be able, with a good final sector, he might be able to get a P9.
Yes, P7.
P7.
28.742. Only just under 400ths faster than Marcus in that Ferrari. So Tom in that Williams has got himself through to Q3. And I think, is that everyone done with their laps now? Dirk.
It should be, Dirk, but he's safe.
He's safe, definitely safe. Yep, and he's across the line. So there you go then. That is Q2 finalized, wrapped up, and stamped. And we have 5 exits as we expected. PW Jones, Rasin, Hayden Gullis, Infratic, and Rowley all will exit Q2. And now it's going to be a shootout for pole position in Q3. How important is pole position in Saudi Arabia, Badger?
It's not the most important thing. I mean, it is for a street circuit. It's across all the street circuits, probably the least important here out of all of them. But it's still a street circuit at the end of the day. You want to start on pole. You want to start as high up as possible. But it really is going to come down more to strategy, safety cars, making the right decision at the right time, more so than it is about pole position. But it's always nice. It opens up your strategy book a little bit if you start on that pole position, and you might be able to just drive away a little bit from the other drivers. So, certainly a good help in that regard. And we're going to see who gets it.
Yep. The cutoff point for getting into Q3 was a 29.1, so 1/10 faster than we thought. We did say low 29s, and sure enough, it was low 29s, but it was only 200ths, just over 200ths between PW Jones and I can't remember the name, who's in P10 now. But that was the gap we had between the 10th and 11th place positions. So very, very tight Q2, and I expect it to be a very tight Q3 as well. It's going to be a shootout here in Q3, and you can see the names we have in there, some very big names. Jamie Mills, the man who has been in hot form here in Jeddah, here in the Chocoleague, sorry, as well as Jeddah, to be fair. He's been very quick so far. Only did 1 lap on the medium tyres in Q2, and did exceptionally well with that medium tyre too, so expect him to be up there. Of course, Tom, of course, is in Q3 as well. Savso, Dirk, Chocolate, Rutanius, Liam, Larsen, Marcus, Sebastian Bobek, and Bushy Ants all making it into the top 10. Now, this is where things are about to get heated, Badger. What can we expect in Q3? Are we going to see a mid-27, you think?
Oh, you're asking for a lot, but I think if anyone could do it, I think it would be Jamie Mills. Yep. He certainly has the pace for that. He's the strong favorite here for the pole position, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up there with, yeah, I think a 27.5, 27.6 is where I would expect him. Maybe if he has a slightly below his average lap, which is still way above mine. I don't want to speak for you, Vince, but it's certainly way above my average.
Yes, oh, for sure.
Then it would be sort of 27.7, 27.8. If he's in the 28s after his first lap, then something's gone seriously wrong.
Yeah, check that wheel, I'd say, if he can put the 28 down early.
Meanwhile, since we still have about 10.5 minutes and everyone's only on an out lap right now, something interesting just happened. I just got a message from the driver in P5, Rutanius. He forgot that I'm commentating right now. He wanted me to engineer him.
Well, he's doing well even without the engineering. He's got himself into Q3 quite comfortably too, so...
Yeah, certainly. He's doing well for now. But for the race, that's usually where your engineer really kicks in if you have one. You know, that's when... because he can help you make decisions. Like, he has the overview. You're in your car, you're driving, you're focusing, you have a bit of information. You know about your ERS, you know about your fuel, you know about your tire temps, you know about the 2 cars in front and behind you. Well, if you're in the top 2, you know about the top 5. But you don't know the whole picture. You don't know how much gap do you have if you pit now. Like where would you come out? That sort of thing. And the game, sure, the game tries to estimate it, but the game can be quite wrong.
Yeah.
I've seen this many times where it says, oh, expected pit release position P11. You do it and you're P15. It's like, what just happened? What have we done here? So it's always good to have an engineer for the race. For qualifying, you don't need that information. It's really just about you, the car, the tire temperature that you have access to. And there's a Red Bull around. I think that's Dirk. Yep. That is Dirk.
Exit turn 10.
Yep. And he has to be careful here with the rejoin. There's a Mercedes coming. That is not a Mercedes.
There was Liam. Yeah, it was Liam going through on the Mercedes.
Oh, okay. So my telemetry is telling me wrong information. It's giving me wrong names. It's calling Liam.
Not Liam.
Yeah, not Liam. Really, that's accurate.
Well, we got one man.
I have to fix this real quick.
Go for it. We got one man who's about to finish his first lap at the start of Q3. Ooh, a little bit close to the wall there for Bushy. Talk about margins. He really found the definition of it. Bushy crossing the line now. He goes through and goes for a 28.1. Strong opening lap from Bushy there. And I wonder if that was on a fresh tyre or not. We'll have to wait for your data to find out if it was. There's another man to cross the line now. That's Rutanius starting his lap in the Ferrari. Jimmy Mills is about to cross the line. And 27.5 for his banker lap in Q3.
That is severely impressive. I mean, wow.
That's simply incredible. Simply incredible from the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, that is absolutely astonishing lap there. I think the kids call it stonks.
Well, let's see if he finds any stonks gains in the next laps, because if he does that, that'll be even more exceptional. Jay Mills, who was in my tier in PSGO, he was in F7, recently promoted and got up 2 tiers, all the way up to F5. Recently, so he's definitely showing that pace we saw there. The Mercedes of Liam crossed the line for a 29.1, so he's got some more time to find Saf. So looks like he's doing another lap. He did a 42.5 that time round, so I think he's going to be charging up and probably actually going this lap actually. So we'll keep our eyes on the other Mercedes driver to see how he gets on. Let's see who else is on a lap. Rutanius on a lap right now as well. We still have a couple people in the pits at the moment. Dirk Chocolate and Marcus, the two consisting of that. Tom and Sebastian Bobek, both on their outlaps right now as well. So we'll keep an eye on them after we've kept our eyes on Rutanius, who's heading around the final corner. Does he need that engineering support in qualifying? Let's find out as he rounds that final corner. And flats out all the way to the finish line now. Will he cross the line? He goes across the line and will do a 28-1 as well. So a couple of 28-1s are being put down early here.
Yeah, that final sector was very strong from Rutanius. In fact, faster than Jamie Mells.
Whoa.
In the first two, he lost a little bit. That's why I said, wow, because in the first, I looked at the first sector, I looked at the second sector, and I thought, that's surely going to be between P3 and 4. Maybe even behind Larsen in P4, but no, he actually went faster than Bushy because he gained so much in that final sector. Remarkable stuff there from Rutanius. Really good final sector. Just a quick info on sort of top speed. I think that's why Rutanius gained there, because he's actually second in the speed trap. Number one being Marcus, his teammate, at 339 kilometers an hour. Rutanius 336, and then Jamie Mells tied with Dirk, Larsen, and Bushy Ants for third with 334. So you see that 2 kilometers an hour difference that Rutanius has there. I think that helped him in that final sector, because that is the speed sector. You don't have many corners in that final sector. You have the Mick Schumacher chicane where he spun out, and you've got the final corner, which doesn't require that much downforce because it is not a fast corner. It's
Tom.
more of a medium speed.
Getting very close to the wall there. Actually made contact with it as well, which could compromise his lap. He's not backed out of it yet, though, as he wiggles his way through the middle sector, and around he goes. Tom round in the middle sector. Looked like it was getting a little bit slippery for him. Think those rears got a little bit too hot, and he's found himself facing the wrong way, and did avoid the wall again. So he's saved from any damage at least, but he has damaged his talent for now.
That's harsh. That is harsh.
I feel bad already for saying it.
Yeah.
And Landon Norris said it about himself. I think I'm okay.
All right, there you go. Wow. I did not expect that out of you. You're always so mild-mannered. What gives?
It won't be the first. It won't be the last.
There you go. Okay. Is he going to finish the lap to at least put a banker down? He's likely still better than Safso's at a 1 minute 42.5. Let's see. No, he decides against it.
No, into the pits he goes.
Bobek, meanwhile, hello. That's a purple first sector, and he's pretty close in the second to Jamie Mells as well. Not quite there. Lost about, what was that, 700ths of a second? He had 200s from the first sector, so he's half a tenth down. If he can make a 27.1 in this final sector, then he might have himself a provisional pole.
And across the line he goes, 27.7. Is he the man to compete with Jamie Mells today, I wonder? Because that's a solid lap time for a banker lap there as he cuts through turn one. But, yeah, that's a competitive lap time.
The problem for Bobek is that he is actually 9th out of the 10 drivers so far this session on top speed with only 332. So what we talked about earlier with Rutanius being faster in the final sector worked out because he's got 2 kilometers an hour advantage. Well, Bobek has a 2 kilometer an hour disadvantage on Jamie Mells. So,
and speaking of Jamie Mells, I think he's just about to complete another lap.
Oh my!
Or he's just started. Has he started one, or has he just finished one?
Let me check. I think he just finished one.
He seems to be very aggressive in turn 1 and 2, so I think he's going for it.
Okay.
Well, let's stay on board with Jamie Mells then, because he's the man who is red hot right now, and let's keep an eye on that red hot Alfa Romeo as he goes through Sector 1. Keep an eye on those times. A little bit of contact with the wall there, and that has already offset his lap. And will that put an end to his lap as well?
Yeah, it's not invalidated, though. I think he might actually continue. Let's see what the first sector is going to say.
Well, my trap map is saying what I expect it to. For all the wrong reasons, unfortunately. It's saying I've got a purple sector 1, but I'm sure that's not correct.
It is purple.
Really? Wow.
In a second.
So, despite contact... Oh, another bit of contact. That's surely going to be invalid. Yeah, there was no argument about that one.
I think that might be on purpose. I think he knows that he ran wide there in the first sector.
Well, it didn't make contact with the wall, to be fair, on the inside, so...
Yeah, but still, let me check if he has damage.
I know for a fact his talent is not damaged.
He has no damage from that contact.
Wow. I mean, it was only little rubbings on the wheels, so I'm sure in real life it would snap a little steering rod or a wishbone or two, but in the game, of course, that's not really simulated too well with that sort of contact, so he avoids it. But there is another man on the lap right now, and that is Dirk Chocolate, who is still yet to set lap time. We've got 1 minute 50 remaining in the session, and this is probably going to be it for Dirk. It's going to be this lap and this lap only for the Red Bull driver as he finds his way through turns 15, 16, and 17. He's got a Ferrari that's standing in his way at the moment. He should get out of the way, I think. He's getting a little bit of a tow from the Ferrari, in fact. Well, hello. This doesn't feel right. A Ferrari towing a Red Bull. This should not be happening, I don't think. But Dirk Chocolate getting a little bit of a hand from a friend there, clearly, as he goes now through turn 25 and 26. And it's going to be all about the setup here. No?
It doesn't look like it helped him too much. 28.5 in the middle sector. Larson
was
contact. Faster than that, and he's in P5, yeah.
Yeah, contact on the inside wall.
Dirk is only going to qualify in P6 here behind Larson.
Let's see, and correct, 28.7. It's a good lap, but it's not enough for a competitive top three.
The final sector really cost him. There's 6/10 there between him and Retanius in that final sector. And Dirk, just like Jamie Mells, only has a 2 km/h disadvantage on Retanius. So Dirk can't really argue that he lost 6/10 by being 2 km/h slower.
No, definitely not.
That doesn't compute. So there was the contact there. There was the mistake there. That cost him. Otherwise, a P5 or even a P3 would have been possible.
Absolutely. 20 seconds remaining in the final qualifying session here in Jeddah for round 6 of the Choco League. And as it stands, it's Jamie Mills who is going to be sitting on that provisional pole spot. And he's not going up for the lap either.
Is Bubba going to make it? Is Bubba going to make it across the line? 2 seconds, 1 second.
Oh,
he is not.
He's out.
Oh,
so it's P2. Yeah, at most P2.
At best P2.
Yeah,
at best P2. Retanius is going slow. That's not a lap. Bushy has invalidated. Larson is the best hope right now. The top 4.
Liam P5.
Improve Liam P5.
Good lap.
So Larson 4/10 up. That could challenge Bobek for P2.
Absolutely, and Bushiant has boxed as well, so that's a maximum of P4 for him as well. We have Dirk Chocolate, who is not on a lap right now, so we don't have to take him in consideration at the moment. Larson going through that final corner. Now let's keep an eye on how he'll do, and it's a little bit sketchy on the exit, but he's all good. He keeps it in one piece, and it's now putting the foot through the floor all the way across the line. P3, 27.846 for Larson. Puts him on the second row and at the front of that second row, but no more than that for him. Retanius has also
P7.
boxed as well, and Tom will cross the line at P7 in that Williams.
Here
One more
comes
man, Marcus to cross the line.
Two more, I think. Safso
Oh yeah, Safso, yep. And Marcus goes P4, joining Larson on that second row. 27.983.
In the final
yeah,
for Marcus.
brilliant final
here
sector.
Comes Safso. Let's see what he's up to. It's gonna
Didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean,
P9. It's a P9 for Safso.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So not quite.
Update,
a little bit too delayed, unfortunately.
Dirk in P10 now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not going to like that.
He's not. But he got into Q3. I'm sure he'll be happy about getting into Q3. But what a brilliant Q3 session that was. It's Jamie Mills on pole position for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But keep your eyes out for that battle for first place. Sebastian Bobek only just over a 10.5 behind Jamie Mills in the Aston Martin. Larson crosses the line P3. He's on the second row, joined with Marcus in the Ferrari. Then here's teammate Rutenius on that third row across with Bushiant, who finishes P6. Liam in the first of the two Mercedes finishes 7th. Tom, the only Williams, making it through into Q3 in P8. Safso, the other Mercedes, making it for P9, and Dirk Chocolate sitting 5/10 behind Safso in P10. Brilliant qualifying session. What can we expect the differences to be between the race and quali here? Will we expect maybe... Will we see Bobek attack early, or is he going to try and sit behind Manager a little bit? What do you think will happen in the race for those two, Badger?
I mean, if I was Bobek, and he is an engineer, I think he thinks like me quite a bit. So if I was him, what I would do is I would just try to sit with Jamie Mells, see what tire he's going on, do the same, chill out with him, cruise to a P2, maybe challenge him towards the end for P1. But yeah, I would do whatever Jamie does for the first 48 laps of this race.
Well, we'll have to see what strategies we go for as well. Is it going to be a one-stop? Is it going to be a two-stop? We'll have to wait and see. I don't suppose you're able to have a look at your little...
It's going to be however many safety cars we're going to have stopped.
Yeah, fair enough. That's very fair enough. I mean, if we have as many as we did in Brazil, I'd expect many stops.
Yeah, and don't forget, Brazil has runoff areas.
Yes.
Jeddah doesn't.
No, it does not. It really does not. And it's very easy to turn in that slight bit too early and then make contact with the wall and suddenly you're in all sorts of trouble, so...
Just one information, by the way, for all the viewers. We expect no rain whatsoever during this race. I said it at the start of Q1, but it bears repeating. We expect absolutely no rain whatsoever here. The highest percent, so the game gives you a percentage. The highest percentage we expect here is 4.
Yeah, I don't think we get any rain with 4%, as we'll now get underway for the formation lap here in Saudi Arabia. Jamie Mills leads Sebastian Bobek off the line. Jamie Mills starting that right-hand side. He's starting on the hard tyre here. Let's have a look through that tyre telemetry and see who is on what tyre. So, Jamie Mills and Sebastian Bobek going equal with each other, starting on the hard tyres. Could they be under a little bit of early pressure from Marcus and Rutenius behind them, do you think? And Larson, of course, as well. He's on the medium tyre too. So could we expect those medium tyres to maybe try and pressure those two early? Will they try and get that track position early? What do you think from those guys?
It's going to be tricky because the gaps in qualifying were not that big. So there's definitely a chance that they will be under a lot of pressure early on. And the gap between mediums and hards in fresh condition is 0.6 of a second. What I'm looking at right now, what I'm a bit more confused by is a lot of the drivers in the rear of the grid, in the back of the grid, going onto softs.
Yeah.
I think they're just expecting the safety car early.
Yeah.
You don't want to be on softs with about 15 other cars in front of you, most of which are not on softs. I don't understand that, really. If
my driver's knowledge is correct of this track, those softs, they don't take long to die out either.
Nope, they really don't. We're talking about... let me find it real quick. We're talking about 15 laps that they lost.
Yeah. And a 50-lap race, not many.
Yeah, then they are gonzo.
So, let's see who is on those soft tyres. Tom is the first on the soft tyre. He is starting P8. Dirk Chocolate also on the soft tyre too. Rastin, Hayden, Gullis, Kuntz, Carbon Shadow, Average Joe, Alex Bud, Lil Carlos. All of those guys on the soft tyres. And in the hard tyres, only 4 drivers opting for the hardest set. That's Jamie Mills, Sebastian Bobek, Liam, and Sasa. So both the Merc drivers opted for that hard tyre. And then we've got a few medium tyre users in Larsen. Both the Ferraris in Marcus and Rutenius, Bushy Ants, PW Jones, and Rowley. So, which strategy will be the best one to serve their purpose in the race? We'll have to wait and see, because we are lining up on the grid now to begin 50 laps of racing here in Jeddah. Jamie Mills has been disqualified from the session here. I wonder if that might... Is that to do with their positioning on the grid? Because Larsen and Marcus have just been disqualified from the session as well. So
I think they touched at some point. I don't know.
Interesting. So
confuses me a bit. Maybe they overshot their grid.
Possibly.
Slots?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Will that reset their tires though? For their sake, I hope not.
It does not look like it. No.
Okay, so they should be all right then. As we have the final guys lining up on the grid then, and we are about to get underway for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's round 6 of the Choco League. 5 red lights on the board, and we are away for the 6th round of the Choco League. And Jamie Mills is not off the line too bad. He'll keep hold of the lead as we head down towards turn 1. Rutenius is ahead of Larsen, who is under pressure from Marcus as they head through turn 2 as well. Bushy, Jansen, Tom fighting out for 6th place as well. Liam and Safso not off to a great start. Both those guys dropping down early. And Alex Budd is off to a poor start too. He's all the way down in P20 now. But brilliant stuff from Jamie Mills. He keeps hold of the lead on lap 1.
Yeah, he's got a good start off the line there, and now he's trying to build the gap early. It's going to be very crucial for him to get away from all those medium runners, Rutenius, Larsen, Marcus, and Bushy. Those are the ones that they're fearing right now, and Mills and Bobek are doing a good job of keeping away from them for now. But it's all about settling into the race after that first lap. Right now, it's a bit of a mad dash. but it's about time to settle in, and it's 50 laps, 305 kilometers that we expect.
Oh, one's round, that's Liam! We've got one round. The Mercedes of Liam has gone around in the early stages, and he has, I think, managed to avoid the wall. He did touch the wall with the rear of his wings, so he may have a little bit of rear wing damage. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but not a good start, and especially he's on the hard tires as well, so rough start for one of the Mercedes. He's down to P20 now.
Yeah, I can't tell if he has any damage or not. He doesn't have his telemetry enabled, so it doesn't show for me. That data is not sort of submitted to me. But he might as well. But if he does have rear wing damage, it's going to be very light damage. It shouldn't hurt him too much over the course of the race.
Here goes Tom round the outside of Marcus down towards turn 1. Goes a little bit defensive, but has got that position secure. The early running on the softs is a little bit deep there from Marcus. He had a little look, but Tom, well aware of it, keeps his foot down at the moment and is in P6. Larson holding on to P4 at the moment as he's under pressure from Bush Jans as well. But he's on the back of Rutenius, and Rutenius on the back of Bobek and Mel. So it's going to be interesting between those guys, and I think we've got a collision. Yeah, that's Alex Budd on the soft tires.
I don't think it was a collision. I think it was just him around. It doesn't look like he's got damage. Once again, I can try to check. But if I do that every time, it's going to take too long. Yeah, I can't see his damage statistics either. But it doesn't look like he's got that front wing damage or anything else. So just a spin in turn 1, and he's down to P20.
Yep, Dirk, Chocolate, and Average Joe battling out as well. Joe has got past Dirk Chocolate for P12. Hayden Gollan's had a good start to this race as well. He's already up to P11, so he's already fighting for points, but he is on that soft tire, of course. You can see on the screen the entirety of all the different compounds being used. Every compound being used as well. We've got a good mix of softs, mediums, and hards being used. All the drivers thinking their strategy will be the one. And we have another yellow flag. It's so I think that's Alex who's gone round again. I think he's struggling with those hot softs now. So he may want to consider maybe going for that early box. Is that the right call to make? Or has he got to try and cool those tires down and keep them going?
I would say just cool him down. Just take a chill for about half a lap to a whole lap. Just don't be very ginger on the throttle. And then at some point, you know, you see your tire temperatures come down, and then you'll be able to push again. But it's too early to ditch these softs, and a pit stop here costs you 20 seconds, right around 19 is usually what I calculate with whenever I engineer someone around here. So yeah, you lose too much time from that. It's not worth it. If you can just cool down the tires, lose maybe a second or two, and then you're good to go again. And Alex Budd does the other decision, and he actually does come into the pits for a new set of softs. I would assume maybe mediums or hards. We'll see. For hards, it's certainly too early. They won't make it to the end.
In mediums.
Yeah, mediums.
And
I
a
think
front
he might
wing.
Go, and a front wing. There you go. So that second crash definitely cost him. So then it is the right choice. I did not know that he had front wing damage, but with the front wing damage, yeah, you do come in.
Yep.
And now he's got a new front wing. Car should be fine. He's on brand new medium tires. He should be able to make it to about midway through the race, and then I think he's aiming for a pit stop around lap 26, 27 onto his other set of mediums, and then go to the end from there.
Battle for
Liam with the yellow flag there.
Oh, has he gone round again, has he?
I don't know what exactly he's done, but he went slow, and it doesn't look like damage still. So maybe he just went around nothing else, but he's got to be careful. Meanwhile, the top three are really pulling a gap to the rest.
Yeah, Bushy Jansen. Yeah, Bushy Jansen, Larson having a good battle here. Bushy has just got past Larson down towards the final corner, and he's up to P4 as Larson. Ooh, had a little snap as he tried to put the throttle down, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time as well. He's got to be careful with the dirty air. Is dirty air quite bad round here, you'd think, especially for Sector 1?
Yeah, especially through Sector 1 certainly is. Sector 2 and 3, not so much. You don't really bother with it too much, but in Sector 1, you see here, all Rutanias had to take the exit road there. Did not get a warning.
Yellow flag, that's McLaren. We've got Carbon Shadow round in turn... Just before turn 10, I think that is. That's turn 9. Yeah. So Carbon Shadow finds himself round, but still in that top 15 with his teammate slowly but catching up to him as well. So he'll have some hot rear tires too, and now he'll have to take it easy.
And there's a Rabasna round. That's Bobek who spun and got collected by Rutanius.
5-second penalty to Bobek as well.
Nah, that's a bit unfair for Bobek there. He spun, he was around. not much he can do about that. There was a racing incident there. Very unlucky for Bobek. Got hit with the front wing of Retanius there, who will have to pit now. And Bobek got a 5-second penalty as well.
Oh,
my goodness, can Bobek continue at least? He got hit in the side, not in the front, so he might be okay when it comes to the front wing.
Really unfortunate for
definitely
Retanius.
going to pit it, yeah.
Really unfortunate. Yeah, and I wonder if that will be a hard tire for him. Has he got a spare medium tire he could possibly bolt on? Let's find out, but that is not the way Retanius would have started this race. He started strong as well, keeping good pace to the top two, but unfortunately, the Aston Martin that was hanging left in the middle of the road has caught him out, and there is another set of medium tires on, so it's going to be a two-sort of strategy from here, I reckon, and then he'll be putting on another set of hards or something. We'll have to wait and see. But he is out, and he's going to come out in P16 by the looks of it. So, yeah, unfortunate there for Retanius, but that's the sport for you, isn't it? Sometimes those unfortunate moments do happen.
Yeah, as Dale Earnhardt Jr. famously said, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
Yep.
In this case, yeah, he ended up being the bug there. The hard tire, by the way, it is still too early to pit onto that because that tire lasts 39 laps. And we still have 46, well, 45 remaining as soon as we finish this one. So it's a bit too early. Can't really do that just yet. But you know who really benefited from that situation there with Bobek and Retanius? In a way, yes. But I was thinking more Jamie Mells because look at that gap.
He's got a very nice gap.
4 seconds.
Yep.
Absolutely no one to worry about. 4-second gap to the next car. Doesn't have to look in the rearview mirror. And I think, you know, I'm talking from experience. I know you can relate to this as well. If you don't have to look behind every single corner, like, is he going to attack? Is he going to attack? Do I have to defend? You're driving better. You're driving faster. And it certainly helps out. So Jamie is just getting into a rhythm now, getting into a groove. The one thing he has to be mindful of is that he can't fall asleep at the wheel.
No.
He can't just be like, oh, you know, I'm just in such a groove that it becomes sort of boring and monotonous that he has all of a sudden, you know, he starts making mistakes. But this is the situation you want to be in as a driver, is you have a gap to manage and you don't have to worry about anything else, and that gap is quite big. So, you know, you can, it opens up the strategy book, you know, it helps you settle down like on your inside, and yeah, I think Jamie is gonna like this right now.
Yeah, a comfortable gap now for Jamie. The man who was rivaling him is further down for his well, I mean, he is comfortable with that, and Bobek, yeah, it's the same corner as well. Same corner as well for Bobek, and those hards are not working for him the way he'd like to at all, and that's him down to P12 now. It looks so strong for him in qualifying, looks so strong from the start of this race. He's now picked up a 3-second penalty on top of it as well. So 8 seconds in total for Bobek. 5 seconds he can serve at his next pit stop. But that 3 seconds he'll have to take at the end of the race. And it's just going from bad to worse for the Aston Martin driver.
Yeah, you're saying he can serve. Well, he has to serve it.
Yeah, he has to,
He doesn't want to. Because I think if, you know, if you bring this to the stewards after the race, they're going to say, yeah, that's a bogus 5-second penalty. We're going to remove that. But he has to serve it. He can't get around that. And that's the annoying part, unfortunately, for him, is that he has to get rid of that 5-second penalty by serving it, not by having it removed by the stewards afterwards. The fastest lap, by the way, is held by this very man right here, Sebastian Bobek. He is... he was the fastest together with Jamie Mells with a 33.0 for both of them. But, yeah, it's not turning out the way he was hoping it would. And meanwhile, Bushy on the last lap has actually gained 2.5 tenths on Jamie Mells. So
I wonder if this is
slowly but surely coming down.
Yeah, I wonder if this is Jamie just now entering a little bit of conservation mode a little bit, just kind of keep that battery in good shape and look after the tires. Now that he's got that pressure of Sebastian Bobek away from him, he can sort of allow a little bit of free time to Bushy. Of course, his mediums will die off sooner than Jamie's hards as well. So.
Yeah, Alex Button, meanwhile, around again. That's the yellow flag you see in the top left.
Struggling.
He spun in turn 24, 25, I think, or 23, 24.
25, that one, yep.
Yeah, there you go. You know this better than I do. No, it's because normally on my track maps that I have on my other screen, I have the corner numbers and sometimes the names even. But for Jeddah, they're not on there, so I struggle.
I've got a little image on my right-hand side that have the numbers, so perfect. I'm going off of that.
Perfect. Yeah. And meanwhile,
Oh,
I
Joe!
see as well. Oh, Joe's out. Yeah. I saw it on my
Support
screen
yellow.
as well, and that is a
Full safety car.
Safety car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Full safety
Wow.
car.
Well,
And
strategy's up in the air now.
Yeah. Now the question is, if you're Jamie Mells, do you pit? You're on hard tires.
Yeah, it's gonna be
only
tough.
8 laps in.
Could he
But
do a
he's ahead
medium?
of the safety car. He is ahead of the safety car, so he's got a whole lap to think about it.
Yeah. And
That's perfect for him.
And this is going to help out the guys on the soft tires too. This is exactly why they went on the soft tires. They're banking on their early safety car, and Joe has fed that to them. I was just watching Lil Carlos's onboard there to see if we kind of see what happened to Joe, and it looked like his car was parked on the other side on the exit of turn 15. Turn 17 that was. So I think he may have been tagged, or he may have clipped the inside wall, or lost it on his own, but he's ended up on the far side with the car pointing to the right. So, unfortunately for Joe, but 8 laps in, he is our first DNF of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Yeah, meanwhile, I can tell you, a bunch of drivers have not had good pit stops. PW Jones has messed up his pit stop instead of the normal, so 2.3 to 2.5 second pit stop. He got a 3.3 second pit stop, timed it horribly. Rolly got 3.4, Liam 3.4, and then we've got Dirk. I think he timed it badly and had a wing change. 8.3 for Dirk there.
Interestingly for Dirk, he's gone for another soft tire.
He knows there's going to be another safety car. I think that's what he's banking on. He's like,
it may well be.
We had one now. And again, we're going back to sort of the American sports. We're going back to the American racing. They say in NASCAR, and I think sometimes in IndyCar, cautions breed cautions. So you get one safety car, you might as well get another soon.
Jamie Mells not pitting, staying out on lap 7.
But only lost 4 places. He would have been behind Sebastian Bourdais.
I wonder if he was thinking about
that much.
Yeah, I was wondering.
In fact, 3 because Marcus is in now, and Marcus is going to drop, I think, behind Infratic.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Marcus pit stop. What tire is he going to go for? He is putting on a soft tire. So, are they planning on doing a medium soft hard? Or a medium soft medium, possibly?
Medium soft medium, I think. At this point, if you're going on the soft, if there is 40 laps of no safety car running as soon as we restart, then I think it would go soft medium to the end. Oh, it's going to be close on the exit here with Marcus and Infratic. I think Marcus has him. Yeah, wow.
Just.
Oh, that's helpful. For the soft tire, that's certainly helpful. Because now, Marcus is the highest of the soft runners. Tom is on medium, fresh mediums at P5. And the top 4 are either on old hards, Mells and Bobek, or old mediums, Bushy and Larsen.
So you'd say, theoretically, Tom and Marcus are arguably in the best positions right now with their tire.
It's not that much of a difference for Tom. Again, the new medium compared to the old medium between Bushy and Larsen. We're talking
7-8 laps.
It's only 8. Yeah, it's 8 laps. We're talking about, what would that be? About not even 20% wear. Not even 20% wear. So a couple of tenths. It's not that much. The soft tire, Marcus, he's the one who should be really, really feisty.
Yeah.
As soon as the restart happens, he should be like literally armed with a knife. You know, give me the position or else.
Yeah, he's going to go all guns blazing, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we'll have one more lap of said guy, probably in next lap.
2.
2, you think? You think Alex won't get there in time?
Yeah, no, I don't think. Look at where he is right now.
Yeah, he's very far back, but you never know how
he's
slow.
Still in the first sector.
Yeah, we'll see. But we are going to get another lap of safety car regardless. So this allows everyone who's a little bit further behind to bunch up a little bit here. And of course, like you say, Tom and Marcus have got quite the benefit on being that fresher tyre. So as we were saying earlier, the ones who went for that early gamble on the soft tyres are getting their benefits paid out here, really. But we are only a fifth of the way through this race. And anything can happen from here, Badger.
Yeah, well, you say that. I think the hard runners have also kind of gained here because their tyres are obviously in absolutely no worry whatsoever. They should be around 15% tyre wear right now. I could actually, maybe I can check. Let's see if Jamie has it enabled. He does, but I can't see the wear. Oh, no, I can. Haha, 18%. There you go.
Not much.
I didn't, yeah, not much. As I said, around 15% there. For mediums, it should be around 20, maybe slightly higher than that. And so there's not much there in terms of where, and that pun was not intended, by the way. I just realized that when I said that, that was absolutely not intended. My apologies to everyone watching. What I was trying to say is, the hards are really, really good still, whereas the softs and the mediums behind, they will wear off quicker, and it's only 10 laps in, we still got 40 laps to go. So right now, it's a very good situation for the hard runners, and especially if you consider, not so much for Mel's and well, for Bobek, yes, because remember how far down he was after his 2 spins? He was in P12. He's back up to P4 now.
Yeah.
So that's a good situation for him. But even more so in Fratic. No one driver on this grid right now has gained more positions off the grid than he has. 7. He started in P14, but by not pitting and staying on the hard tire, he's now in the top 7 of this race. And again, his tires are not that bad that he's going to struggle against those medium runners behind him. Because, for example, Rutanius in P11, he didn't pit during this safety car. He pitted before that, remember, for that front wing and for new mediums. So his mediums are already a bit older. So I think Infratic pulled the right choice here. All the hard runners did a good thing here that they stayed out, and it's going to pay dividends now with track position.
Yeah, we are going to get another lap of safety car as you predicted. Alex Bright is coming around that final corner. Of course, while the safety car is out, for the hard tires, it's difficult. Like I say, from again a driver experience, it's difficult to look after the hard tires on the safety car in terms of the actual temperature. And especially when that safety car comes in as well and you're having to back up the pack and you're in that pack actually on that hard tire. The rear's just, you can't spin them up like you want to, and as soon as you try and get off the line, you're suddenly squirming a little bit, trying to find that grip. So this stage now, I would say, is really vital to make sure that when that pack gets backed up, you have that right tire temperature to get you off that mark when the leader decides to go. And then, of course, if you do get that grip that you want and the guy in front of you doesn't, there's always an opportunity for early track position. Yeah,
generally the rule of thumb I always use as an engineer is if you're on the soft tires at a safety car race start, you just need to start warming them up sort of in like...
Oh, and that's Larson! Oh, Larson, we're just speaking about the cold tires. No. I wonder if he's been affected by that. And he's parked it up on the inside of turn 13, and he's going to drop all the way to P19. And what position was he sitting in? Yeah. That was P3, wasn't he? It's just behind Bushy. So that's very unfortunate for Lars. And I think maybe a little lapse of concentration on the cold tire. And, well, that's what's happened.
Yeah. And the worst part about this is not losing 16 positions. The worst part about this is you did this on stream with many people watching.
I'm sorry, Lars. You
look like the biggest donkey out there. He's going to hate himself for that. Safety car in this lap, we expected that. So yeah, as I said, with the soft tires, you want to warm them up, sort of start at the middle sector. With mediums and hards, you want to start at the start of the final lap when you expect the safety car to come in. That's when you really want to start warming them up already. And even then, it might not be enough, especially with the hards.
And as we speak of the safety car coming in, it is time to go racing once again here in Jeddah as we see the cars coming around that final corner. Lots of swinging left to right, trying to find that little bit of extra temperature that they can find. And Jamie is going to take them right to the line here. And where will he pounce?
Shorten the straight. I love it.
Yeah.
Shorten the straight. Make sure that, they get as little run up as possible on you so that you have the run into turn 1 and you don't have to battle with them. Especially with the cold tires. Oh,
Bobek down the inside of Bushy ends in towards turn 1. And they're 2 abreast as they come out of turn 3. And through turn 4, someone is round. And Bobek is through Bushy. And here comes Tom down the inside of Bushy as well. Does he force him a little bit wide? He nearly... But I think just because of space, he's still sticking his front wheels where they shouldn't really belong. Tom is not giving it up. Bushy hangs on in there. And here comes Marcus around the right-hand side through the next pair of corners. And Tom has dropped down to P6 from it. Bushy, 5-second penalty for cutting the corner and gaining a place out of it. He couldn't hand the position back.
Yeah, I think the stewards might look at this afterwards and determine that he was forced off track potentially. And he might not have to serve that. That I think will land on the steward's desk And I don't know what decision they will make, but they will certainly.
He's going to have to serve at the next pit stop as well, isn't he? So it's difficult to do anything.
Actually.
Difficult to do anything.
Mind, then. Yeah, you're right. It will not land on the steward's desk. So
and
if any stewards are watching, less work for you. Congratulations.
We're helping you out. And Tom has got P4 out there. Bushy has maintained the position, of course, with that 5-second penalty. Really unfortunate for him that he picked up that position. But unfortunately, he's just going to have to try and put his foot down even harder from now on, as Jay Mills has got a second to Bobek, who is suddenly back in this race all of a sudden, isn't he, Bobek?
Yeah, he certainly is, and not just him, Rotanius as well. He's just made an overtake happen on Infratic. Now Hayden Gullis going past Infratic as well. So the Red Bull driver really suffering here on those old hard tires. I said he did a good choice there, but it's not looking like he's doing that right now. Maybe it's the cold tires again, I'm not sure, but he's certainly struggling for grip, although he's going for the move here on Hayden.
Hayden goes a bit wide. Hayden goes a little bit wide.
Ooh,
did they make contact?
A slide there. No, it was a slide from Hayden that almost put him sideways, well held from the Veloce. I don't know what he actually is. Streamer,
content creator.
Something there.
We'll just say that.
I think he's more. I think he's actually fulfilling an actual position within Veloce. I think he's like something social media manager.
Well, right now,
sure, but he's doing so much for them.
Yeah, well, right now he's filling up P10 as it stands, and he's got PW Jones right behind him in Fratic and Razin right in front of him there. Oh, Razin went very wide there. I wonder if we get a Woody for that one. That looked very clear cut to me that he went off the track. Whether he gained any time from it.
Carbon Shadow's around.
Carbon Shadow. Oh, yes, he is. Yeah. Did he make contact with the barrier? I didn't quite see.
The wing looks okay.
Okay, so we'll see if he carries on then. But he's down to P18 now. Let's get back on to that fight with Infratic and Razin, as Infratic swings out to the right-hand side on those hard tires. They're neck and neck with each other as they fight through the final corner. Infratic goes a little bit deeper there. He'll get that little bit better exit, but I think Razin's going to hold him here. And Razin did pick up a 3-second penalty as well earlier in that lap for multiple warnings, track limits, violations for Razin. So unfortunately, for him, he'll have a 3-second penalty. And now Infratic's going to try and find a different way around him because he couldn't find any way through the final corner.
Yeah, meanwhile, since you're talking about penalties, the top 3 drivers that you see there with penalties, Bobek, Bushy, and Safsa all have 5-second penalties, but they will have to serve at their next pit stop. And then Razin and Lil Carlos are the only ones with 3 seconds. And then, of course, Bobek has both a 3-second time penalty and the 5-second that he'll have to serve at the next pit stop.
Yeah, DRS enabled as well. We're on lap 14 of 50 here in Saudi Arabia. And the battle for P2 between Sebastian Bobek, Bushians, Tom, and Safso. You can even include Marcus and Rotanius, both Ferraris involved in this as well. There's a little bit of a train for P2 right now. And how does Bobek deal with this pressure that he's got behind him?
Yeah, good question. It's going to be
saying that.
Meanwhile,
Bushy.
Yeah.
He wanted to have a go there, but it wasn't quite enough for him.
I'm not sure he wanted. I think he just wanted to put pressure on him there. Wanted to sort of
go do it now.
Show himself in the mirror. Now he's going for it, but is he going to let off to get the DRS? No, he's not. There goes Tom as well.
Oh, he wanted to have a go. Bobek blocks it off.
He had the speed, but yeah, he was blocked there a little bit. Legally blocked, but still blocked. And they head into turn 1 now. Let's see if Bobek can get that position back on DRS.
He's going to go down the inside. No, he's not.
Oh, no.
Bushy's gone a little bit deep there, though. And will he maintain that position for now? And no, Bushy will hold on. A little bit of a traction slip for Bobek as well. But for now, Bushy will hold on to P2 with Tom looking feisty on the back of that Aston Martin rear wing. And then you've got Safso, Marcus, and Rutanius all hanging on as well. We've got some battles elsewhere on the grid too. We've got the battle for P8 between Razin, Hayden Gullis, Infratic, and PW Jones. Dirt Chocolate Liam all within that second of each other as well. Then you got a battle for P14 between Kuntz and Rowley. Little Carlos, who's down in P16, has just been handed a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings, and track limit violations for the Alfa Romeo driver. But at the moment, cruise control for Jimmy Mills, Badger.
Yeah, certainly. He's just managing that gap again. This time it's not 4 seconds as it was before the safety car. Only 2, but still good enough to keep all of them, this whole pack here, from P2 to P7 out of his DRS range. And just manage that gap. as the best drivers need to be able to. That's one of the things that you really have to be good at when you're near the top, when you're at the top, as Jamie Mills is. Then you have to be able to manage a gap, and he does that just nicely. As I think Retainius is going for the move on Marcus here. The Ferrari
teammates
side by side. Yeah, teammates, not sure that's what you want to see if you're Mattia Binotto right now. Then again, what do you really want to see? You don't even want to open your emails these days.
No, you don't.
Yeah, so, you know, I think that might be the worst, the least of his troubles here, to see Marcus and Retainius battling. But they keep their positions as they are. And Jamie Mills still in P1. Meanwhile, Dirk and Infratic. Speaking of teammate battles, Dirk going past his teammate there.
I tell you what,
up into P11.
between those two, there's a little bit of an intra-team rivalry I've heard between Infratic and Dirk Chocolate. Kind of like Perez and Verstappen in real life. Oh, we got yellow flag.
Oh, yellow flag, yeah, and I think that was Razin, actually.
And I think Infratic's got wing damage. I think he's just touched the wall, and I think he's got a bit of front left wing damage, so maybe that's why Dirk got past, but he was struggling to get that car around through the corners, and I think Infratic's had to pit this lap. Can you see anything on the front wing?
See. No, I don't
It looks
see
okay, doesn't it?
It looks okay, yeah.
He's struggling a lot, Infratic.
He is, but it doesn't look like he's got that. Well, yeah, but no, he doesn't have any downforce really. The understeer is very, very palpable. Yeah, I think he'll pit.
Yeah, well, nothing visual.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, let me see if I can see it on my. Where is it? Infratic there. Yes, it's telemetry off. I can't tell. Unlucky.
It's unfortunate. But yeah, definitely struggling.
We should require the drivers to all turn it on.
We really should. We really should. And Rolly has left the session.
Rolly has left the session.
Probably disconnected.
Yeah.
So
he's still on the track, so he can rejoin and try to take his car back. He's in P15, and he's got DRS to stay with Infratic. And remember, we talked about this earlier when you said 40 was the AI level. It's actually 80. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So it's not that bad if you leave. You know, 80 is not that great.
It's enough to cost you a couple of seconds, so yeah.
Yeah, 2 seconds a lap to a 100 AI driver, I would say.
Infratic did pit for a new wing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's on the medium tires now, too.
Sort of I would say 3.5 seconds to someone like Jamie Mills, but 2 seconds to someone of my caliber, let's say.
Well, couldn't spin a water 3-second time penalty here as well. Bushy Ants has actually got a little bit of a gap here to the rest of the grid. So I think Bobek may have had a slight problem somewhere because Tom has also got past the Aston Martin driver too. So 1.5 seconds splitting Bushy and Tom, and 5/10 splitting Tom and Bobek. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happened to Bobek, but unfortunately for him, he's dropped outside that podium position now.
Yeah, but I tell you what, Tom is looking incredibly weak right now because he's on 10% battery charge.
Oh, he's used it all already, has he?
He's used it all already. Yeah, he has. Not good energy management there. If we want to talk about good energy management, Jamie Mills has 100%.
He doesn't need to use any, does he?
He doesn't. Yeah, he just uses a little bit here and there to make sure that he doesn't waste any energy. If I was his engineer, I'd tell him right now, at least go down to 80, mate. Come on. You don't need 100, please, but you're wasting energy.
Yellow flag, sector 3.
Again. Yeah,
and that's Alex
Budd again.
Yeah, he's round once
it's
more.
Like the 4th time at this point.
Yeah, but he's still going, though.
Yeah, but he's now down to last.
Yeah, and Fratic did pass.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm not sure what JB's doing. Bushy is saving his energy quite well as well. He's on 65% right now, so very good situation that he finds himself in. Tom under a lot of pressure here from Safso, Marcus, and Sebastian Bobek, and Retainius as well.
Yeah, and Safso also with that penalty too. Marcus in P5 at the moment. He's got Bobek in between them. I think Bobek must be having some sort of problem because he's dropping down the grid a little bit, isn't he? Can you see if he's got any wind damage on that car possibly? Because it's not looking too steady.
Off, but I can try.
Oh, he's round! Bobek's round and so is Retainius! I don't think they made contact, but both of them have just gone round in symmetrical fashion. It was quite impressive, actually, how in sync they were as they went round there. Bobek got going straight away. It would have lit up the tyres a little bit, but unfortunately for Retainius, he's found himself down at P13. He was facing the wrong way, in fact. So Bobek got a little bit of a benefit from the pirouette, but Retainius couldn't quite get the car snapped into the right position, and he's dropped down many positions. And now Hayden Gullis has also got past Bobek as well. So both of those guys having troubles in the opening 18 laps here in Jeddah.
Yeah, and I can tell you regarding Sebastian Bobek, I think the reason why he's struggling is if you think back to when Bobek and Retanius made their first crash, which forced Retanius...
Tom's gone deep at turn 1.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's just kept it out of the wall as well, and has just had to filter in behind Marcus. So everyone's struggling in this phase of Grand Prix by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's when the tires start going off. The mediums for a lot of these drivers should be starting to feel some wear. Certainly for Bushy Ants, they should, but it seems like he's keeping it just fine. And then we have, for example, Marcus on the soft tire, 10 laps old now. Those tires are not in the best shape anymore. They're really starting to struggle. So I think that's what we're seeing right now, the effects of tire wear kicking in. What I was trying to say about Sebastian Bobek, when he crashed with Retanius the first time, remember, Retanius lost his front wing, but nothing else was damaged for his car. But Bobek was hit in the side, and that may very well have damaged his side pods, damaged his underfloor. So he might be driving around with a car that's not nearly as competitive as it could be, and he can't have it fixed either.
No.
So that's the problem for Bobek here, and that's why he's struggling so much, I think, is that first crash. So I gotta say huge kudos to him for staying in this race with a damage that's unfixable and trying to make the most of it. So love to see that. But yeah, another crash. I feel like the crews of Aston Martin and Ferrari should check their cars of Bobek and Retanius at least for some hidden magnets, because it's the second time they came together now. We're only 20 races in, 20 laps into this race. If they keep going at this rate, we're going to see 3 more crashes between them.
Indeed. And Thomas just got past Marcus for P4 in this race. Well, Marcus having a little look up the inside, but too far back to make any make of it in towards turn 4 or 5, I think that is. So Marcus holding himself very well right now, and Tom in a good position too. The top 3 right now, Jay Mills with a 2.2 second gap to Bushy, and Bushy with a 2.6 second gap to Sav. So Retanius has pit here as well. He has gone on a hard set, and that will get him to the end of the race from now, won't it?
Exactly, that will get him to the end, so it's not really that painful of a stop because he will gain a lot of positions back. I think the first driver, the highest driver right now who will be able to go to the end. It's going to be tricky with PW Jones actually in P8 and Kunst in P9. They pitted for hards on lap 7. And of course we had a safety car, so they might be able to stretch those hards to the end if they had to. But other than that, I think it would be Larsen in P13 right now. We pitted lap 11, and 39 laps is exactly the lifespan that the hards have. So he would be spot on right there. And he's got the fastest lap as well right now, so that would be very good. Bushy now, green flag pit stop here for Bushy. He's had enough of those 20-lap old mediums.
And it's a hard set. It's a hard set penalty serving first.
Yep.
I forgot he had that.
Hard tires to the end, and he should re-emerge.
Behind McLaren, I think.
Yeah, behind. Behind. It's going to be... No, behind, yeah.
Yeah, and Dirk Chocolate is coming up too, but I think it's going to be well clear of him. So only the one driver to clear, because there's a nice 6.5 second gap between Rowley and Kun. So if Bushy finds his way past Rowley very soon, then he's got a nice bit of clear area he can try and push into, and that might be what he needs to catch up to Jay Mills. But of course, Jay Mills on that reverse strategy, if you like, starting on the hard tyres and then going for medium. So when can we expect him to pit for the medium tyres? Probably late lap 29, 30, that sort of area for the medium tyres?
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. I think if you want to go... really, at this point, you're just looking at when do you have the right gap? Where would you re-emerge? And right now, it's not the time for Jimmy Mills to pit, because he would be right where Razin and Kunst are. He'd be immediately in that battle, and he might run danger of being behind them. I think the driver he's looking at to clear is Sebastian Bobek.
Yeah.
Once he clears him, look at the 4 in front of Bobek. Gullis, Marcus, Tom. Oh, well, now PW Jones. There you go. Gullis, Marcus, Tom, and Safso. None of them have DRS. So you could, what I like to call island hopping. You could DRS past one, then use the first sector to pull out a second, then jump to the next one, then use DRS to get past him, jump to the next one, use DRS, jump to the next one, use DRS, and go into the lead. So I think that's the plan. And for PW Jones, he's looking for a gap that's about 19 and a half, 20 seconds. Then he's definitely got the clearance to get out ahead of the Williams and ahead of the Aston Martin in P6 and P7. But that time has not come yet. A safety car would get him there, by the way, because everyone would slow down enough that it would work. But right now, yeah, I think Jamie Mells is still biding his time. It's too early, and undercut would not work because he's got no one to undercut, really. He's got no one to look at and go, oh, I have to pit before this guy because he's half a second behind me. No, the next guy's 5 seconds away.
Battle for P8 in this race is on lap 22. Razin and Kuntz, who have got close a good couple times. Yellow flag instead of 2, and that's Rowley. Yeah, Rowley has gone round on the exit of turn 13, where it's a little bit tricky. It's definitely easy to get the car rotated. Yeah,
wow.
And he's got some debris across the...
VSC.
Oh,
now,
it's an opportunity for Jamie.
I go in.
Yeah.
If I was Wells, I go in. He's staying out.
Oh.
He's staying out, yeah.
I wonder how that can affect him. Let's keep an eye on the others.
I'd go, because now you have enough of a gap to PW Jones, I think, that it would work. The gap, not quite, actually. But
Marcus in.
Jones is now... Yeah, wait, what? Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the soft tires.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a welcome gift for him. Bobek also in. He was on hard, so he's going with mediums to the end, I think.
And he's got a 5-second penalty to serve as well, so it'll be a little bit of a longer stop for Bobek.
Yeah, but a good time to serve it now.
Yeah, and I think... Did Kuntz pit as well? No, he didn't. I was going to say, if Kuntz pit, that would have been very bad for him, because Bobek's have to sit in the pit lane for, what, 8-9 seconds, I think it is, when you have a penalty, so...
Yeah, but no, but Kuntz does not have a penalty. He has a 3-second time penalty, but not a 5-second.
No, but if he was stuck in behind Bobek, he'd have had to sit behind and waited for him in the garage, so... Yeah, so lucky for him, he didn't go in. He did read the situation well, and Bobek is going to come out in...
P12.
P12. Oh, no. It goes a little bit deep.
I think that's an illegal overtake.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, Bobek's had to fit in there.
DRS enabled.
And yeah, that's a restart. Right, we are on the way again. So, Routanier's got a little bit lucky there that he got the position back in good time.
Yeah, and real quick, surprisingly, because I've seen this so many times, nobody got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. Wow. I'm actually amazed.
I'm going to take my hats off for them.
Yeah. I don't know
Routanier's attacking Bobek here as well early into this safe VSC restart. Oh, well, they nearly get a little bit closer. Routanier's and Bobek, who have been very close to each other throughout the entirety of this Grand Prix, all at different phases as well. Routanier's having a look up the inside at turn 13, where Bobek's tyres will be a little bit colder, but Routanier's not able to make that move. Bobek keeps P12. For now, Jamie Mills is a 3-point-second gap to Safs at the moment. Tom is 2.3 seconds behind Safs, so Hayden Gullis 6.9 behind that. So the top 8, you'd say, starting to slowly sprint themselves out a little bit.
Yeah, certainly. Not just a little bit, quite a lot. The top 7 at least, and then Marcus and Larsen all together then P8 and P9. But yeah, if you're Jamie, you're still monitoring that gap. 19.7 right now to Kuntz. That's the guy you're looking at. Because now PW Jones is actually 3 seconds away from anyone else. 3.5 behind Hayden, 3 ahead of Kuntz. So he's sort of isolated there. Hayden's isolated. Tom is isolated. Safs is isolated. They all are. So at this point, you could pit, and if you're Jamie Mells, and he would be in P5. He'd be behind PW Jones.
So the only... well, there's a couple battles happening across... the grid at the moment. We've got the battle for P8 between Marcus and Larsen. Larsen was quite close in that last lap, but I think with Marcus being on that fresher tyre, he should be able to pull away from that Haas. And we've got the battle for P11 between Razin, Bobek, and Routanier. So,
speaking of Bobek, purple first sector from Sebastian Bobek right now, 33.9.
Lighting up those medium tyres.
New mediums.
Yeah.
And really trying to put them to good use, and he's going to have DRS potentially 3 times here, as he's right behind Razin. Is he going to make the overtake happen quickly, or is he going to be a little bit more patient?
Let's see, but at the moment he's using that DRS to get himself a little bit closer as they head down towards turn at 22 through 23 and 24 now, and as they find themselves shooting down towards the final corner. He'll have the DRS to get a little bit closer. Actually, I don't think he's using the DRS here, Bobek. I think he's just trying to get a little bit closer, but just wants to make that move in towards turn 1. Sets himself nicely as he cuts back to the inside on the exit of the final corner. And now he's got the run on Razin down towards turn 1. Has he got the ERS to use? He's got plenty of ERS to use, and this should be the move for P11 for Bobek. Oh, there's contact! Razin moves late, and I think Bobek did make contact with the rear of that AlphaTauri, and the Aston Martin does find the way through at turn 2. Was that a late move from Razin? It looked like it, but Razin has conceded that position regardless.
Yeah, so I think the stewards are not going to have a look at this because at the end of the day, no harm, no foul, really, because Bobek is passed. He's got the position, and, it's all sorted itself out in the end.
Yeah. So, Britannius is going to linger behind these guys right now. We did drop a little bit of time through the opening sector, so I don't know if he made a little mistake somewhere, but he's got to try and claw back a little bit of time to get onto Razin's DRS. Let's have a look at how old all the tyres are and see who is still yet to pit. Jamie Mills is actually the only driver who is yet to pit in this race, and he's the one who's leading. Everyone else has done a minimum of 1 pit stop. Razin, who is in P11, is actually on a fresh tyre as well. So, actually, I'm just saying that. Razin's also got past Bobek again. So Bobek's got to do this once again with Razin.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that happened. I might have missed that.
Yeah, I missed it too. And Rutanius is over this group as well. It's going to be... Oh, no.
Oh, here comes Rutanius. Oh, my goodness. He came out of absolutely nowhere, Rutanius. And Razin is... Oh, there's contact between Razin and Rutanius. They come through the final corner. Bobek just has to filter in a little bit behind them. Who's got the DRS here? Who hasn't got the DRS? As Rutanius tries to force the inside 2 onto the left-hand side. And there's still 3-1. There's contact again between Bobek and Rutanius. And Rutanius is having to come to the inside as Bobek goes deep into towards turn 1, and he's going to have to get the position back because he's gone off the track, and sure enough, he does, and it's very feisty, and this is only for P11. Could you imagine if this was for the lead right now?
Yeah, I don't want to imagine that, quite honestly, and Bobek actually got a warning for that, despite not gaining an advantage. He did gain time according to the game, but he really didn't gain an advantage. In fact, he lost about at least 1 place, maybe 2, depending on how you want to argue it.
Yeah, he's got the inside again. Oh, there's contact once again. This is super aggressive there too. And is that... He's gone round, isn't he, Bobek? I'm on board with Rutanius right now, and Bobek has gone round. And, well, that's a level of aggression. That's... When you go in with that level of aggression, that's usually the consequence that comes out of it.
Yeah, most certainly. That's the kind of aggression where you see it on F1 Manager with aggression high. That's the driver you want to avoid because they always go for everything and they end up sometimes messing it up, as we saw there.
Yeah, so...
wasn't the best situation there. I don't know what Bobek was thinking. He wasn't really close enough for that move. So, yeah, I would put most of the blame on his in front of his feet there.
Yeah.
That was not it.
So, from bad to worse to even worse for Bobek. Just when you thought it couldn't get even worse, it somehow has.
Rutanius.
Yeah.
First crash between the two. Rutanius couldn't avoid a spinning Bobek. Second crash, I think they made contact and they both went around. Third crash, Bobek just... I don't know what he's doing there, honestly. He just sends it into turn 11 for no good reason. Just very optimistic move, and Rutanius again being involved. I mean, he can't catch a break, can he?
He really can't. It's just not been one of those days that you want for Rutanius, but the man who is having a good day is Jamie Mills, because he now has a 6.4 second gap to Safso in P1, so...
Not just that, he also has a 21-second gap to PW Jones, so he's cleared him for a pit stop. Is he going in now?
It's looking around that time. Yeah, it's lap 27, so it's a good lap to pit now.
Yeah, he'll be about a second and a half behind Hayden Gullis in P4. So that's at least that's the expectation. I have to check if he's doing a good pit stop when it comes to the timing. It doesn't show me yet. It will show at pit exit. And it was a... Come on, show me. He's certainly behind Hayden there. Look at this.
Yeah.
By about... Oh, less than a second, surprisingly.
Yeah, he's going to be within DRS. He's got the cold mediums.
It was a 2.4 second pit stop.
Yeah.
It was a 2.4 second pit stop, so pretty good one there from him. Good timing, optimal timing, I think. And he's right behind Hayden.
Yep, and they'll be looking to clear him early on, and then from Hayden onwards is a tasty 7.3-second gap where Jamie can do what he really needs to do in that area. But he has got that 3.6-second gap to Jones, and I'll expect that to continue increasing as he gets close to the rear of Hayden Gullis, and you can just see the grip level between a fresh set of medium tyres and a 20-lap-old medium set of tyres. And I know Jamie's tyres are cold, but still seeing that level of grip difference is quite impressive, really.
Yeah, and they will be warm in due time, so that's certainly going to happen. I think when is he going to make the overtake happen? The question is really, is Jamie going to be smart about this, or is he going to be quick about this? Because, yeah, smart for now. Will he do the same on this straight?
Let's find out.
He's
very close.
All the energy in the world, so he could, but Hayden is actually defending it. I don't understand why.
Hayden is a sitting duck right now, really, and sure enough, J Mills has got past.
Get the DRS and use it to your advantage.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, Hayden will have to pit again. There's no doubt about that. Why are you trying to hold him up and ruin your own race as well?
He just wants a bit of fun.
Yeah, true, but this is why Hayden normally, whenever he does league racing, has Rutanius as his engineer.
So he tells him not to do that.
Unfortunately, that's not possible right now because Rutanius is a bit busy right now.
Yeah.
Well,
and
but yeah, normally Rutanius would tell him right now, mate, you don't need to fight this. Just get the DRS, chill behind him, let him drag you along. But yeah, well, Hayden likes a bit of fun, and to be fair, I think he is streaming right now as quite a few of the content creators in this race, so
making some content.
You gotta give the people
what they want. Exactly.
They want a bit of show.
Exactly, and sure enough, he gave the show. Yellow flag in sector 3, and is that Alex Budd round again? It is indeed.
I don't know who it is.
That's Alex Budd.
Yeah, it is,
yeah. As we've seen a few times.
I thought it was because the track is so narrow there, because you have like two parts of the track that are right next to each other. I thought it was on the other side of the track where there was like a train of 7 cars. I thought it was somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh no, it's Alex Budd. And
Rolly's out in the pit lane. Yep, so no safety car for that.
Carlos retired, and that's a crash.
That's a safety car.
That is
it's a VSC. Sorry, VSC.
VSC.
Oh, what does this mean? What does this mean for Tom, Safso, and Hayden now? This has got to be a pit lap for them. Yeah.
This is what that means.
That's cut their time a little bit shorter.
And it's perfect because you know how many laps they spent on those mediums? 21.
Perfect amount.
How many laps are they going to spend on those mediums that they switch on to now?
21. And on go the mediums.
Because it's the end.
Yes.
It's the end of lap 29 that they pit, so it's 21 more. So perfect timing there for that. I think they probably planned to go in anyway. And now they just, okay.
It's pinpoint timing.
Now, yeah, it's pinpoint timing. We lose even less time.
Absolutely. So let's see what that gap between... Oh, we have got a full safety car. We have got a full safety car.
Upgraded.
Yeah. So...
And that's in... Oh, my.
Hello, Tom.
Now everyone will have to pit, surely.
Yeah.
I hope Alex Budd is being smart about this because... Oh, no. He would need... Oh, Jamie Mells goes off the track to allow Alex Budd to unlap himself.
Honestly, well played.
I mean, wow.
Well played.
I mean, Jamie Mells and a true gentleman. I can only applaud. I mean, that is gorgeous.
Very respectable driving there from Jamie Mells. And it helps out the order as well, because otherwise Alex would be, holding people up with the blue flags and things as well, and it makes things very awkward. So fair play to Jamie to allow him to get back through.
I mean, that alone should give him 5 bonus points in my book, at least.
Yep. If he doesn't win today, he's won the hearts.
Yes, exactly. Alex, because the thing is, right, normally if you're lapped and you're not allowed to unlap yourself, then what's the point in staying in? Like, especially if you're behind the leader under safety car. All you're going to do at that point is, well, at the restart, you're going to have to let everyone through. It's going to be super awkward, and you're going to be lapped, and you won't be able to unlap yourself at all. So at that point, why not retire?
Yeah.
That's normally how I say, at that point you should retire is either obviously you have that much damage that, underfloor, side pods, that kind of damage, rear wing diffuser, that it can't be fixed, that you're super slow, like 2 seconds a lap, then yeah, sure, park it. Who cares? Or if you're lapped. But if you've got a true G, I think the kids say, like Jamie Mells, who allows you to unlap yourself, then no need to quit. You're still on the lead lap. Anything can happen.
Yep, it absolutely can. And it's, well, But those who are quite far down
though,
as well, this is looking good for them too.
Yeah, I tell you what though, if somehow, some way, Alex Bud ends up finishing ahead of Jamie Mells, which I mean, the odds for that are very tiny, but let something happen to Jamie, you know, someone dive bombs him into turn 1 on the restart. You know, if Alex Bud ends up finishing ahead of Jamie, Jamie's gonna kick himself.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna be happy. That would take something though for Alex Bud to get ahead of him.
Yeah, I'll never do this again. That was a mistake. I will never do that again.
No.
If you're left next time, just retire. You're stuck behind me. Well, tough luck. But I don't see that happening. I think that's very unlikely.
Very unlikely.
As we have 14 cars now caught up to the safety car. We're just waiting for Razin, Infratic, and Alex Bird. And I think Alex Bird might be able to do that at the end of this lap.
Gonna be tight.
It's gonna be tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the final corner, and the safety car is on the other end of the circuit. So half the track to go. I think he can do that, just about.
So I'm just looking at the tyres being used at the moment across the grid. Jamie Mills, of course, is on a fresh set. Tom has also boxed for a new set of medium tyres, and he's in a very strong position now as well. Could we expect Tom to maybe challenge Jamie early on? Is that a possibility?
The difference between the tyres is 2 laps.
It's very minimal.
It's nothing. With all respect to Tom, you know, with all due respect, great driver and great guy. I think I had like a 1-hour conversation with him at TwitchCon. Time flew by. Absolutely great guy. But with all due respect, I mean, considering how fast Jamie Mells is, no chance.
No.
Unless it's turn 1 and he gets a really good start, really good race start, I just don't see it happening. In the first sector, Jamie is just going to pull away immediately. The 2 laps difference, absolutely nothing.
So we are going to get another lap of safety car. Unfortunately,
are.
Alex is nowhere near close enough to
nowhere near.
The challenge.
He's actually taking it rather chill. He's actually pushing that much right now. If I look at the sector times, 35 in the first sector. Obviously, the fastest they can run right now at this point in the race is probably closer to 33. So, yeah, middle sector 30.4. He's not letting off that much, but yeah.
Yeah, but taking it easy.
The second half of the circuit is the faster part, you know, so it makes sense that the left half, if you look at the track map, is the faster half compared to the right. So it makes sense that he wasn't able to catch up because, well, time flew by as they drove through that.
Yeah. Mark's in P3 right now on 9-lap-old medium tyres as well. Tyres that should get to the end from here too.
They will, but he will struggle a little bit right now and for the rest of the race, I think, when it comes to battling all the other cars around him because their laps are 7 laps their tyres are 7 laps fresher, 5 in the case of Jamie Mells.
Yeah.
So that's that. At that point, it's a significant difference. We're talking about 20% extra tyre wear that Marcus has to contend with over all the drivers around him, really.
Yeah. Rutanius has been on the hards for 12 laps. Liam on the medium for 13 laps. That's going to be tough to get to the end on those 13-lap olds.
Well, the hards are fine. They will come of age over the course of the race in these last 18 laps. So that won't be much of an issue. But the 13-lap old mediums, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, going to be a tricky one.
It's going to be tricky. Dark Chocolate as well, 9-lap old mediums. Sebastian Bobek, 9-lap old mediums. The rest looks fine. I think Bobek, Dirk, Liam, maybe Rutanius and Marcus are probably going to hope for another safety car where they can then switch on to softs. That would be another option for them as well, if push comes to shove.
Well, let's see what happens. Alex Bud has now caught up to...
Not quite. Is it in time? We still haven't got
not pushing
the
for
safety
it.
car in this lap message, so it might be one more lap.
He's not pushing for it to come in.
No. And there's another gap there. I think Rutanius is trying to keep a gap as well to make sure this doesn't happen. And yeah, safety car stays out one more lap.
Oh dear. So we're gonna have to.
I can't. To be fair, from Rutanius, that's smart. His hard tires. You know, every lap that they do under safety car or not under safety car, but also under safety car, you know, it helps him. Because his tires now last a little bit longer.
I mean, everyone's tires last a little bit longer from now.
They do, but you know, for the hard tires, it's better.
Yeah. So we are going to have another lap of safety car then. We're on lap 33 of 50. And, well, surely this will be the lap it comes in. There's no way it can't be.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. I Unless, well, nobody can pit anymore, so yeah, guaranteed in.
So Jamie Mills will be the one to lead the group away on lap 34 when we eventually get there. And Tom, Marcus, Savso, Hayden, Gullis, and PW Jones are up in that top 6 right now with Kunz on a fresh set medium tyres in P7 as well. Let's have a quick look at the penalties that everyone has as well and remind ourselves of what people have. So there's 3 seconds apiece for Kunz in P7, Carbon Shadow, Ryzen, and Fratic, those guys from P14, 15, and 16, they've all got 3-second penalties as well. And the only one who has a penalty other than those guys is Sebastian Bobek, who has a 12-second penalty, which I believe, if I remember correctly, was a 5 and 2, 3.
No. He served the 5. He served the 5.
Did he not get another one after?
Hold up. A 5 and 2 3s would be 11, not 12.
Yes, it would be. Yes, math. Yeah, you're right. You're fully right.
No, it's 4 3-second time penalties. He served the 5 seconds, did not get another one. So yeah, it's no driver has a stop go. Everyone who has penalties has at least 1 3-second, but no 5 or 10 or a drive through or anything like that.
All right. Well, one more sector to go for the safety car, and then we're back to green flag conditions. And there we go, safety car in this lap. So it'll be Jamie Mills to lead the group away. And this is the phase where those tyres need to be at their best possible temperature. Has Tom done well enough on his tyres? Has Jamie had a little bit of a lapse? That could be all it takes for a change round in the lead. Safety car coming through the final corner now, and we'll head into the pit lane. And on the left-hand side, we'll see the cars starting to creep round. When will Jamie pounce? When will Jamie trigger the accelerator pedal? And when will he choose to lead the group through towards turn 1? We're about to get underway once again on lap 33. And Jamie Mills is underway. Marcus got off brilliantly, and he's attacking Tom down towards turn 1. Tom is trying to close the gap. He swings to the outside. Marcus holding the inside. A little bit of contact. Marcus has to make a little correction on the exit turn 1. Tom holds on for now. We've got a yellow flag. Someone's round. Larson. Oh, and Marcus. Marcus hits the wall on the right-hand side on the exit turn 4. And suddenly there was Dirk inside of him as well. So Dirk and Marcus both just went off at the exact same point. Their tyres must not have been warmed up as much as they wanted to. And that's what I was talking about earlier with the tyre temperatures. They have to be at that right temperature, or even at places like, you know, this with turn 3, it's so easy to get a little bit loose on them, and suddenly you're facing that wrong way.
Yeah, it's really, really tough, especially, as you said, with everyone being either on mediums or hards. We saw Marcus was on old mediums, Dirk on old mediums, Larsen on fresh mediums. They were all struggling for that tire temperature. And one thing that we really have to talk about, I think, is that the temperature, the overall air temperature, has actually gone down since the start of the race. We started with 27 degrees. We're now down to 25. I think that may have caused a little bit of an issue as well. It's not much of a change, but it makes it just a tiny bit harder to warm up the tires. Yeah,
night falling, sun setting here in Saudi Arabia, and that temperature, as you say, has obviously had its part to play. At the moment, the battle's going on everywhere right now. Savso is battling with Tom for P2. There's been a change around in the positions for P7 as Kunz and Rutenius are almost side by side as they head down towards turn 1. There's a few battles happening a little further behind as well, as Kunz holds that inside line at turn 1, and Rutenius holds the right-hand side, and he's got the inside line now, and they're still wheel-to-wheel as they head through turn 3 and down towards turn 4 and 5, and it's going to be Rutenius who does keep himself ahead for now, and Kunz has to just slow himself in behind with Liam trickling into, and Sebastian Bobek keeping himself inside that top 10. Both the Alpha Tauris at the moment outside the points. Raz at P14, Alex Bud in P15, Dirk Chocolat and Marcus both get themselves involved in a restart catch-up. And Marcus is actually also in the box as well with 15 laps to go. So has he gone for another set of mediums, or is he on softs from here on? Could be softs.
Well, I could tell you in a moment.
It's hards.
He is on hards.
Wow, interesting.
I think the reason is he doesn't have any more mediums.
No, he wouldn't.
Softs. I think only used softs, and the mediums, he's already used 2 sets throughout this race. One is 8 laps old, the other is 12 laps old. So hards it is, he hasn't used those yet. So a bit unlucky for him. Should have used them earlier, maybe.
Yep.
But here he is. Could have used maybe one of the soft sets, but they wouldn't have made it. And that's the problem.
Emphatic versus Sebastian Bobek battle for P10. Bobek used a little bit of DRS just to keep himself ahead there. DRS not enabled right now either. And now, as I say that, Jamie Mills crossed the line to enable that DRS. So DRS will be available from lap 36 onwards. Bobek does keep himself ahead of Emphatic for now, with Larsen also right behind these guys as well. And he's got a serious job in his hand, Larsen, to try and get himself back into some good points.
Yeah, certainly. Meanwhile, the top 7, all without penalties. So it's going to come down. But I should say that. Hayden in P4, PW Jones in P5, Bushy in P6, and Britannius in P7 are all on 2 corner cut penalties each. 2 corner cut warnings each, sorry. My bad. 2 corner cut warnings each. So
they're going to be very
they
careful.
Are all skating on
yellow flag.
Ice.
And that's Carbon again.
Is Carbon, yeah.
And unfortunately, he's got himself going again, but he's on the hard tires. And he looks to be all okay.
Yeah, no damage.
Yep. Seems to be good for Carbon. So he'll have to get round it again. But 14 laps to go. It's going to be pretty tough to recover any points from there, but anything is really possible. So we'll see how he gets on. Back to the battle for P2 here. Tom and Safso only a couple tenths apart, with DRS now available. Let's see if Safso can try and make a move down towards the final corner maybe, or will he try and play it down towards turn 1? Tom allows the space on the inside. Safso just tucks in behind him, has to break a little bit earlier as well, and Safso will set up the opportunity for turn 1 if he can. And he's got that DRS again down towards turn 1. James Mills setting the fast lap once again. He's got a 4-second gap to Tom in P2. Where is Safso going to go? He's going to move to the outside here. Tom covers the inside off. Round the outside goes Safso. Tom just trying to sneak his wheel in there, but Safso does make that position. And Hayden Gullis is also going to tuck in here and see if he can try and feed off any scraps.
Yeah, meanwhile, just a quick idea as to how fast Jamie Mel. Oh, as Hayden gets a massive moment there. Loses a bit of time there to Tom and Safso, but saves it, surprisingly.
Oh, again! Oh, he's struggling a lot.
Oh, my!
And his teammate on the outside, he's got to be careful here. And Bushy has to go off track to actually avoid any contact with him there. And I think the sensible thing here to do is just to let Bushy go here, surely. The two teammates, of course.
My goodness, that was a couple of violent movements there. So, whew. I mean, I haven't seen that too much. Especially around this circuit, you really don't want that. But, yeah, what I was trying to say, on the last lap, Jamie Mells actually gained a whole second on the cars behind.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's how quick he is. 30.8 from Jamie Mells, 31.8 from Safso, 31.8 from Hayden Gullis, 31.9 from Tom.
That's very impressive stuff from Jamie, but it's something we've seen over the course of the entire season from Jamie Mells. He's just been in emphatic form. And he's showing it once again. The battle for P2 continues, though, with Tom still behind Safso. Hayden Gullis, I think, because of that problems he had in Sector 1, has actually dropped outside of the DRS to Tom. So maybe there's a chance for Bushiance, the teammate of Hayden Gullis, to find a way past both those guys in the Alpine. Of course, you've got PW Jones, who slipped in right behind them as well. There's a big gap between PW Jones and Rutanius. That's P6 and P7. 4.8 seconds now, nearly 5 seconds between those guys. Kunz is in P8 with a 6-second penalty. They've got Infratic with 3 seconds, Raz with 6 seconds. Bobek has a 15-second penalty now. It's another 3 seconds picked up somewhere along the line too. And then Carbon Shadow also has a 3-second penalty as well. And Infratic now picks up another 3-second penalty. He's on 6 seconds in total now. Larsen is also on the back of Liam here. And saying that, he's actually got past Liam. That's a great little battle there, actually. Unfortunately, I kind of missed it as it happened right at the end there. But Liam did, unfortunately for him, concede that position to Larsen. And he did it on the exit of turn 12, I think that was. So that must have been a hell of a move from Larsen to pull it off there.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, turn 12's not really an overtaking opportunity at the best of times. So, yeah, great move then, if that was what happened. Meanwhile, Jamie Miles is going back into control mode. 31.2 on the last lap. 30.8 was his fastest, so 4/10 slower. But still gaining 3/10 on Safso on the last lap. And now Tom is back past into P2. But for how long will that hold? Because now Safso has the DRS again.
Yep, and let's see what happens down towards turn 1. No, he has got the DRS. Yeah, Safso around the outside. And these two are playing... Yeah, these two are playing switcheroo at the moment as Safso does get back past the Williams driver, and he'll be back into P2 for now, but Tom will not give that up.
Yeah, and Tom has a massive advantage over Safso in terms of ERS. We're talking 30% difference between the two drivers there. Tom on 60, Safso on 30. So I think if Tom is smart about this, he just sits behind Safso for a while, uses the DRS all the time to just stay close or even get in front. And then once he is actually in front in the first sector, burns all the battery, tries to make the most of his battery and just gain all the time and pull out a second if he can and just ditch Safso, because the less people, or the fewer people, my English, mate, the fewer people you have to contend with, you know, the more likely it is you finish in that position that you're in. So you want to be in P2 with no one to battle with.
Yeah.
It's better than to be in P2 with someone to battle with.
It is indeed. Lars has just picked up a 3-second penalty, which could, at the moment, it does keep it to the top 10, actually, because Infratic has a 6 seconds. So here goes Tom again. These two, as I said earlier, playing the switch-around game consistently at the moment. Tom making the move down towards the final corner. Now Safso has that slight advantage because he's going to have DRS down towards turn 1 again. So will they make that move as they did last time? Let's find out. Is Tom going to cover the inside? Let's find out. Tom holding the middle of the track, moves to the outside, keeps the position actually this time.
Yeah, Safso didn't want to go past. He had the DRS and everything, but he was starting to lift off a little bit just to make sure that he doesn't overtake this time. He wants to be behind, I think. Maybe because he now knows, maybe he's listening to the stream and he knows the ERS situation now. So he's like, well, I'm at a disadvantage here. I don't want to be at a disadvantage, so I'm just going to sit behind and chill for the next 5 6
laps. I think Safso went wide there. He did.
Yeah, he did. He did. And he got a warning for that as well.
Oh, is that his second, that one?
No, that's his first. He had a completely clean sheet before that moment.
But Tom's gone wide.
Tom also on 1 warning. Jamie Mells, by the way, the only driver on track other than Marcus in P17 with no warnings whatsoever.
It's like it's programmed right now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like you see an AI driving, basically.
Yeah.
But on 120 difficulty.
Yeah, I've just seen as well, my track map came up with a purple set of 2 for Jamie there, so...
That is correct.
It is correct. There you go. Well, Jamie, he's taken his foot off the brake a little bit here, and he's got his foot to the floor, because as far from what I can recall, every lap that has come past in the last 5 or so, I'm pretty sure we've seen a purple lap every single time, as we've just seen there.
Not every time.
Most times.
Yeah, mostly.
Oh, Razin's out! Razin has just gone on the exit of...
Safety car.
Safety car again! Oh, yeah, 10 laps to go!
Soft.
Got to be soft for people. And there's people in the box.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you make it past the pit lane now, as have the top 6, you can still decide again, because the safety car has not been caught yet by the leader. So everyone's stuck to a delta. And so you can still decide if Jamie Mells wants to go past, wants to come in, if Safso wants to come in, Tom, Bushy, Hayden, PW Jones, if they want to come in, they can decide to do so at a later time. They have to do so at the end of this lap. Track temperature has now gone down from 31 to 30 degrees Celsius. The air temperature still stayed the same at 25. So they're going to have to contend with that as well. It's getting colder now. We have 50 minutes left. So I think even if we get a safety car now and another safety car after this one, I think we're going to stay within the 2-hour limit.
Yeah, I think we should be fairly safe from that at least. Marcus has opted against pitting, interestingly enough. So I think he was the one who we were looking at earlier, and he went out on medium tires.
I know why. Because he fears that if he does pit and Jamie stays out, he might get lapped.
Well, Jamie's... actually, I wonder what Jamie will do, because he's got 8.6 seconds. Is it worth for Jamie?
He would drop down to P6, but if he goes in, then probably so will everyone else.
I think PW Jones will definitely pit. He's in the perfect position here. He's got 18.
Jamie comes in.
So what will Safso and Tom do? They're going to pit as well? They're going to copy, or are they going to...
You gotta go
Let's find out. And Safso staying out. Tom staying out. Bushy staying out. Hayden in. PW Jones in as well. So we've got 3 coming in. Jamie will slot in to P4 here.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, you will not want to tune out again. You want to see this. We have a bunch of drivers on brand new softs, maybe slightly used softs, but generally the fastest tire, but they are stuck on the places P4 to P14, sorry, P4 to P14. And they will all have to make their way through 3 drivers that are now on 12-lap-old medium tires. The difference between those tires, I would estimate, is around 1.1 seconds.
I think the top 3 are in trouble here.
Possibly, yeah.
12 laps each on those medium tires against...
If they had pitted, they would have stayed in the top 6. They only gained 3 places from it. I don't really understand why they stayed out, but well.
Well, we're about to find out.
This is going to make it interesting.
It is.
Sure.
I think we're going to have another lap of safety car. Marcus has pit again, so...
Marcus has now pitted.
Yeah.
He was scared that he was going to get lapped. Now he had the breathing room that he could actually pit for soft, as everyone else already has, at least from P4 downwards. And Marcus has now pitted for soft as well.
Yeah, so all to play for every driver here, basically, isn't it? Yeah, every point here is...
Alex Budd, Razin, and well, Razin is out, but Alex Budd and Bolbeck, Sebastian Bolbeck, have actually pitted with a front wing change as well. So they have a brand new front wing. They must have run with damage, but that is now gone. And what I see here as well, I don't really want to call him out, but Dirk Chocolate has had a horrendous pit stop. I don't know if he got held or if he just clicked at the wrong time, but 3.7 seconds.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's the harsh one right there.
Do mistakes from your pit crew happen in multiplayer?
No.
No, okay. So it definitely does not anything to do with that then.
Yeah, okay, then it was getting held up by another car.
Must have been.
Yeah. Unlucky. Although that shouldn't happen either, because I think in the lobby settings, let me check. Just
Ghosting the pit lane is on?
Ghosting in the pit lane, I was thinking that should be on. I can't tell, weirdly enough. Where is it?
I'm not sure.
Oh, no. Yeah, unsafe pit release is on, so players will ghost through any car while in the pit lane. So, yeah. I don't really understand then how he got held up there.
It must have been a poor pit stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which can happen.
Anyway, yeah, certainly can. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for a bunch of drivers to catch up from Infratic downwards from P10. Only the top 9 have actually caught up at this point, but there's a whole train behind Infratic that will catch up in due time.
Yeah, Marcus should catch up this lap as well. And
I'm going to tell you right now, all the soft runners should try to catch up as quickly as possible. Yeah. They have the advantage right now. They need as many laps as possible.
Yeah, if anything, it's the medium tires who want to be backing off, but they're the ones in the front, so they can't do anything. So...
If I was Safso, Tom, or Bushy, I would leave as much of a gap to the car in front or the safety car as I could.
Yeah.
10 car lengths? Yeah, we'll make it 11 or 12. You know, we'll play around with that a little bit. I'd try to make it as much as possible, but they're really creeping up on the safety car and on each other, so not sure if that's the right idea. But, yeah, I think everyone's caught up. I think we're going to get the message in a couple of seconds. It should be coming through... Oh, do I want to count it down? Yeah, sure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
0.5.
I was a bit too quick.
0.25.
I was a bit too quick.
There it is. So safety car in this lap. We're on lap 43 of 50, and it's basically a qualifying shootout pretty much with everything on these. Yeah, it's a mini sprint race we've got here. And we've got Safso, Tom, and Bushy in that top 3 on 13-lap old medium tires. Absolutely everybody else, from Jemmy Mills in P4 downwards, everybody on a fresh set of soft tires. Whether that's 1 lap, whether that's 2 laps, whether that's 3 laps, they are all on a fresh set. And now it's, as I said, a mini sprint race to the line. What has Safso, Tom, and Bushy got to do to hold on to their positions? We're about to find out as we now enter green flag conditions here in Jeddah, and Jamie has got a decent run on Bushy Jans, but I think he's already a bit too far back. Safso actually got off the line superbly, so Tom is going to filter behind him, Bushy and Jamie filtering in as well, and everyone seems to be in an orderly fashion as they head through turn 1. No positional changes other than Alex Budd and Marcus, and Sebastian Bobeck is past his teammate in P11. At the moment, Safso has got this run absolutely spot spot on as Jamie Mills has got past Bushy as they go two wide with each other through the S section, and Jamie already up one more place.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Jamie right now whispers to himself, or speaks to himself and says, 1 down, 2 to go.
Absolutely.
That's the mindset he's in right now. He's hunting them down.
And Hayden through as well.
I think that was tactical, I think. The teammates working together here. Because Bushy put up no defense whatsoever. He's like, yeah, sure, go through. You know, I don't mind. And he just let him through. So, yeah, I think that was a bit tactical there from the teammates. So Hayden Gullis, we haven't seen him all race.
And suddenly he's up here again.
Yeah, he has this ability, just 44 laps of him just being completely under the radar. And all of a sudden, by race end, there's Hayden Gullis on the stage, and he delivers. I mean, amazing. Jamie Mells and Tom battling here over P2 now. Jamie Mells passed another one. Leaves only one, leaves only Safso. He was the fastest, I would say, of those 3 that were staying out on those medium
Fast lap
tires.
30.3 as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. That is faster, by the way, than the actual real-life lap record by Lewis Hamilton in 2021.
Give him the record.
0.4 of a second. But then again, Safso was just as fast, 30.7. He was right there with Hamilton's lap record. So Safso is not slow.
No.
Mells, but then again, Jamie Mells gained 4 tenths while overtaking 2 drivers.
Yeah, it was. And, well, if he's doing that with the 2 drivers, imagine what he's about to do in the next 5 laps. Because he's got Safso in front of him. And, I mean, just look at the grip levels between the softs and mediums right now. He's already having a little look. But Safso just needs a little bit of ERS just to keep himself in front. Jamie's not going to want to try and make the move just yet. He's going to try and hold on a little bit until it's a bit more clear-cut. Will he make that move now? There's no DRS, of course, until next lap, I believe. So Jamie will... he's going to move to the left-hand side. Oh!
They're slowing down. They're both lifting.
What is this about, then? There's no DRS, but both of them are playing the game. Both of them playing the game. Are they worried about slipstreaming? Here goes Jamie Mills to the left-hand side this time. Safso cuts back to the right-hand side. Through goes Jamie Mills. Jamie Mills takes back the lead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Does Jamie think it's DRS already?
I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, it wasn't, and now I don't understand why he lifted there.
But Safso did too, so...
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if he did. Sorry, I may have... You know, I saw that Jamie lifted. I'm not sure if Safso did.
It looked like, from what I saw, that Safso did get off the throttle too, because he was slowing up at the same rate as Jamie. So, yeah, I'm a little bit confused about that one. But we'll have to wait and see. Hayden Gullis has got himself to P3. Tom's still in P4. Bushy Ant in P5 here as well. And as you said earlier, there's going to be a little bit of team play going on between Hayden Gullis and Bushy Ant. So we're fighting earlier. Now there's a bit of team games going on between them. And it's probably going to be Bushy's job for the next 4 or 5 laps to hold up PW Jones behind. Oh, Tom! 4 threats a 3-second penalty. That is not what he needs.
Yeah, that is unlucky there. Hayden also got... I think Hayden was only on 1 warning. Now he's on 2. It says 3 for me here. But I think one of those warnings was from contact. So that obviously doesn't count. And it counts all warnings equally on my screen. So I think he doesn't have a penalty yet. So I think he's on 2 corner cut warnings. Yeah,
we had a brief yellow flag exit of sector 1 there. That was because of Alex, but he's back going again. So no trouble there.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hayden Gullis is sizing up Safso here. I mean, what a race that would be. Hayden Gullis eliminated in Q2 in a shocking P13. And right now he's in a podium position. He could actually get 2nd place at the end of it all.
Absolutely. Safso's had a strong race as well, to be fair to him. He's gone up 7 positions to P2. And
Q3 for him did not go to plan. P9
There's that lap from Jamie, 29.3.
Wow.
That's a qualifying lap from some people.
That would have got him into Q2.
Simply
and he's
outstanding.
Doing that in the race.
Absolutely outstanding from Jamie Mills.
I mean, if any of the league organizers are watching, Dirk, if you're watching this back after the race, can we get like success ballast or something on Jamie? Give him 100 kilograms. I think that's gonna be
What if?
Gonna be just about right. Oh, Safso.
Oh, and there's a yellow flag as well. That's Axe again, who's retiring.
Alex, retiring, yeah. Safsa with that 3-second time penalty. He was on 1 warning and he got 2 warnings over the last lap and a half. I mean, talk about throwing a P2 away.
Throwing a podium away now as well at this rate.
Yeah. Infratic. No, Bobek is around.
Bobek as well.
Yeah.
He's
to be fair, for Bobek, there's not much going on in this race anyway.
No.
He's got 20 seconds of penalties right now.
20 seconds?
Yeah, 20
Good
seconds.
God. Isn't that nearing DSQ levels?
It might be. It might be, but he can serve in 5 seconds. So
here goes Hayden Gullis. Hayden Gullis through on Safso. Hayden Gullis has made his move. He has made it just for the final corner as well. So maybe Safso allowed him to do that. Is Safso going to have to try and attack again here? And we're on lap 47 of 50, about to enter lap 48. As I say that, Jamie Mills does cross the line to start lap 48. So 3 laps remaining.
Hayden is sitting on the battery to defend.
Yeah.
Hayden is sitting on the battery to defend. And the good news for Hayden is he's still got a 3% advantage over Safso on battery. It's not much, but it's free real estate. So, Hayden is ahead and might be able to pull a gap now. Plus, he doesn't have to worry about Safso and Tom too much anyway.
Oh!
That is Marcus.
And is it Marcus? Yes, it is. Marcus has gone round at turn 2 and
There's no
he's
safety
out.
car anymore.
No, too late for
Yeah.
safety car. Absolutely too late for safety car. So Marcus, the teammate of Rutanius, who qualified in P4, I think it was, is out of this race. Rutanius has just dropped to Larsen as well. They're having a good little tussle at turn 13 as Larsen tries a little switchback here. Keeps it on the left-hand side, but Rutanius just has enough on the Haas and does keep ahead of him. And there's nearly a bit of contact as Larsen outbreaks himself a little bit there and does manage to just about avoid Rutanius, I think. But it was super tight between those guys. And the battle for P3 is on. Battle for P2, sorry, is still on here. Safso closing up towards Hayden Gullis and Tom, PW Jones, Bushy, Rutanius, Larsen are all inside that train, as we saw a few laps earlier.
It's all going to kick off now. These 2 laps are going to be absolutely frantic. And Safso stays behind. He wants the DRS. He gets the DRS. And I think he's going to go for it now. Will Hayden defend
Tom's
again?
low on battery. Tom is low on battery. I can see that rear light blinking.
5%,
yeah, he's in trouble here.
DRS. Safso still staying
hello.
on the penultimate lap.
Sebastian Burbek's round again, final corner. I think that was Dirk with him. I think there may have been contact between the two, but I couldn't quite see what happened. So Burbek is just going even worse from somehow. I think he may have lost the head a little bit for him, but back on board with the battle for P2. Hayden Gullis leads Safso, who leads Tom, who leads PW Jones, but the gap between PW Jones and Rutanius, between P5 and P6, is now 1.5 seconds, which could actually help Safso and Tom, because they've both got 3 seconds apiece.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, Hayden Gullis just got very lucky. He ran wide in turn 9. And he did not get a warning for this. Remember, he's on 2 now. He did not get a warning for this. If he did, all of a sudden he would have to battle over this P2 with Safso and Tom again. Now he doesn't have to worry all too much.
He looked like he went wide there too.
Yeah, but he's still... Oh, no, he did get a warning. Oh, he has 2 warnings for contact. Wow. So he was on 1 warning, and now he's got a second. So now he's,
1 away from that punishment. And
lucky.
Very lucky.
He got 2
and here comes
warnings for
Safso.
contact.
Here comes Safso round the back straight and down towards the final corner. Is he going to play the game? He is indeed going to play the game. And as they wrap themselves around the final corner and they leather themselves onto the accelerator pedal, it's going to be onto the final lap for Jamie Mills and Hayden Gullis and Safso and Tom and PW Jones. And I think there's been a collision on the final corner. Liam has got himself in a pickle and he has come out just ahead of Carbon Shadow. So he's got himself in a bit of trouble somehow. Not really sure what happened there. But back on board with the battle. And it's the final lap of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix as Safso tails Hayden Gullis with Tom, PW Jones and Bushy Jans all following on. Rutanius has fought back the time that he lost and is within that 1 second of the guys ahead as well. And saying that, he might be on for a move on Bushy Jans. No, Bushy has held himself back, but Bushy is out of VRS as well as I see his rear light blinking and he's gone a little bit too deep at turn 13 as Rutanius tries to wrap himself around, but no move to be made just yet. And, it's going to be all down to the final couple of corners, I reckon, as Safso 3-4 tenths behind Hayden Gullis, Tom 4 tenths behind Safso, and PW Jones 6 tenths behind each other. It's just so tight to call who could get that final podium spot here.
Yeah, meanwhile, Safso, I think he's fancying a move into the final corner on Hayden to at least get P2 on track. He's burning his battery. No, he's not burning his battery. Now he is. Went off for a little moment. Yeah, and he goes up the inside.
Safso down the inside. Jamie takes the win here in Saudi Arabia. But yeah, all the eyes are on P2. Safso did all this contact further back. Larsen's gone. Larsen's gone on the final corner. And I think he got involved with Alfa Romeo. I think it was. I didn't quite see who the other car was. No, it could have been Alfa Romeo. No, it could have been. I don't know who it was, but it was someone else. Yeah, it must have been Rutanius then who got involved in it. Yeah. So
Alfa Romeo anymore.
No.
Mel's has won, and Luke Carlos has been out since lap 28. So.
Well, checker flag waves here in Saudi Arabia. It's Jamie Mills who takes round 6 victory. And I couldn't quite see the rest of the board there. I thought you could disappear on me. But I think Hayden Gullis did secure that P2 because that penalty to Safso, who dropped down to P5 because of it. Sebastian Bobek is somehow driving for the day on the screen. I have absolutely no idea how.
Most overtakes.
Probably, yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. But he drops very far down.
Up and down, so...
we'll have to have a look at the
race from him.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the entire grid in just a moment's time when we complete the podium celebrations. But it's Jamie Mills.
I can tell you.
Go on, go ahead, tell me.
Yeah, so Jamie Mills won, Hayden Gullis second, PW Jones in the Williams in P3.
Brilliant stuff.
Bushy Ants P4, Safso after penalty P5, Tom after penalty P6, Rutanius after crash P7, Infratic on 6 seconds of penalties P8. Hold on, I'm not sure. No, it is right. It should be right. Liam in P9, Kunst in P10, Dirk P11, misses out on points, Carbon Shadow P12, and Sebastian Bobek P13.
Wow. What an incredible race for Saudi Arabia. Every single one of these races have been absolutely exceptional in some way, shape, or form. It's another domination victory for Jamie Mills. Pole position, fastest lap, and P1. An absolute clean sweep for Jamie Mills. Hayden Gullis from P13 on the grid, eliminating Q2, does make it to the podium in P2. Brilliant drive from Hayden Gullis. And as you said earlier, it just comes from absolutely nowhere, doesn't he, Hayden?
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. From P13 on the grid, I don't think he even considered a P2 possible.
No, I don't think he did either.
But a couple of good decisions, you know, safety cars at the right time, pitting at the right time. And that does it. The safety car, I think it was on lap 28, 29. That was the one that really helped him because he was going to pit there anyway. Or the VSC, my bad. That then turned into a full safety car. That certainly helped him there because he was going to pit anyway. And that just did it. Starting on the softs as well was a huge gamble that in the end paid off for him. But we got to talk about Jamie Mills as well. I mean,
it's just incredible.
Incredible how quick he is.
Absolutely insane. And as we said earlier, we need some ballast on that car because he's absolutely flying in that Alpine.
And I think, if I remember correctly, he's just 15 years old. So if you're watching right now, sure, in like 2 or 3 years, he's going to end up in F1 esports.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And like I say, he's already in PSG 5 as well, and he's already been promoted from F7, so he's had an exceptional time so far. It's been brilliant from Jamie Mills. It's another domination victory from him, and another superb race. Who would you give driver of the day today, Badger?
Not Sebastian Bobek. It's hard to get around Jamie because he's just that dominant, but I do think Hayden, he was so much under the radar for so long.
And pounced out of nowhere.
He stayed penalty free, and in the end, he was where it mattered. And a P2 is a fantastic result, considering the qualifying, considering where he was most of the race. So, yeah, I got to give it to Hayden.
Absolutely. Well deserved from Hayden as well. Another brilliant race in the Choco League. Round 6 is complete. The standings will be up soon, and we can find out who will be leading that championship. I think it's fairly clear-cut who will be leading that championship at this point. But
I wonder who.
I do wonder. But it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the championship all shapes up. But that is going to be us done for the night. Another brilliant race here in the Choco League, and another one to write in the history books of the opening season. And yeah, it's been brilliant to be able to comment on it. Badger, thank you very much for joining me on the commentary booth once again. We'll be back next week for the next round, which will be in... Where is the next round? Let's have a big look. I always forget where it is. Preparing Zuka. Ooh, okay. So we'll be back next week for Suzuka in the Choco League. And I'm looking forward to that one. Who will take triumph in Japan? Will it be another Jim Mills victory? Will we see a shock victory? And of course, what about the weather? Could we see some rain in Suzuka? Will it play some tricks onto the cards? We'll have to wait for 7 days' time. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in on today's race. It's been a pleasure to be able to host it for you. You can find all of the information on the next races on the screen now. But on my behalf, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you all next week for the Japanese Grand Prix Round 7 of the Choco League.